How good could Jordan Love be in 2023? How good could he be in Dynasty? And can he support the fantasy football players in this Green Bay situation enough to the tune to meet our expectation level? I think so. I think you'll be surprised at how much I like Jordan Love. I think we need to be cautious and be honest with ourselves. Like, if we're drafting him as our number one quarterback in a 1 QB, I don't think we are. I think the expectation level is that he could earn that value. Someone goes down, your quarterback gets hurt, this guy steps in as your QB2 as a borderline top 10 to 15 quarterback in 2023. He really has that kind of upside and appeal. I don't really want you to go draft him as your starter because you don't really need to. And I was hesitant to go live on this and say something bolder in my title, like top 10 quarterback. But I backed off a little bit. I said, look, Smitty, we're running out. I said to myself, whoa, Smitty, we're running out of top 10s. We can't just toss them out like candy. So I was a little cautious, okay? I said, okay, let me back up and just tell people what I'm kind of feeling in my gut right now. I wanted to go live on this a couple days ago. I've had a gut feeling on Jordan Love for the past couple days and weeks where I'm thinking to myself, this guy's going to really impress some people. I don't know that any of us will be drafting him to start, but maybe he creates a problem for us. Maybe he creates a situation where you can trade away your quarterback. Or like I said, you get an injury. Or in 2 QB leagues, this guy's a gold mine as your QB2. The Fantasy Football Show, Jordan Love, phone call, super chat, you name it edition. 7 p.m. show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to the Fantasy Football Show. I went briefly live on the Dynasty channel right before this, and I just said, you know what, let's do it. And we did a little 6-minute, 7-minute show. So I'm glad we did that. That was fun. Go check out the Dynasty channel if you haven't already. The link is in the description. But we're here to talk about Jordan Love, and I'm here to tell you, as a Bears fan, I hope you're wrong, but I feel you're not. Travis, as a Bears fan, you should be more excited about what I'm talking about in regards to Justin Fields, because the Bears and the Lions are going to be in a dogfight to win the division. Travis, you shouldn't feel bad or worried at all. The Bears are coming for everybody. So if you haven't seen my Bears content yet, Travis, you need to buckle up, kind sir, and get ready, because you're gonna shart in your pants. You're gonna be so excited. Get a spare pair of pants ready now before we circle back into that topic, Travis. But Jordan Love is he will be a very good quarterback, guys. I can feel it in my gut. I can feel it in my bones. And I know we don't have a lot to go on. We got a $20 plus super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Hob G coming in strong. The best fantasy show on the airways. Draft season is almost here. I can't wait. You get a free bold prediction for the $50 board, by the way, Hob G. So appreciate you dropping that incoming massive wad on the screen. The $50 holler. Don't have a $50 holler button. I do have a $50 holler button somewhere around here. I keep losing it. Where is it? I don't know where it went. I must have deleted it. I'll find it. But appreciate you dropping that $50 holler. Jordan Love, I have a gut instinct. I've had this feeling for weeks now. Days and weeks. I mean, days it comes and goes, but for weeks I've been wanting to post a very bold video on Jordan Love. If nothing more than to allow people that might not be jumping or climbing on the train quite yet on Christian Watson because of this man, almost as a way to just say, guys, calm down. It's going to be okay. At the very least, this guy could struggle at times, be up and down, but be throwing missiles all over the field to Christian Watson. And in a half a game, which is about all we got out of Jordan Love, admittedly, it's not a lot to go on. I understand that. I get that. And in fantasy football, sometimes you have to make a knee-jerk reaction based on a small amount of play. In the case of Jordan Love against the Philadelphia Eagles, I might add, in week number 12, he came in, he threw 6 for 9. He had 113 yards, 1 touchdown that went to Christian Watson, which is an important part to point out. Even though it's one encounter, I get it. One half of football, it was a little like light, a little open window into what is possible, and to see the connection is better than to not see it. Like, it was a good thing to see. But the thing about Jordan Love that impresses me is that he looks like he fits the offense and he jives with everybody around him very, very, very well. And the team believes in him. And a lot of times when you have a quarterback come in or step up and start learning in a new system, you don't see some of the leaders, the very respected leaders like Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander had some amazing things that it was kind of all over social media, and people were questioning this guy. You know, what is he saying? He's just saying this because he's his quarterback. No one is saying that this is true. I want to start off by saying that no one believes in their right mind that Jordan Love is the best quarterback in the National Football League. And Jair Alexander is saying this in a playful but very convincing way that he believes it. He is trying to convince you he believes it, but he's very playful with it. He runs in front of cameras and goes, best quarterback in the league, puts his arm around them, very playful. And I don't want you to take away that I'm stupid enough to believe this to be true. I'm merely trying to point out that this guy has the support of the leaders in the locker room in a way that feels very much like how Jalen Hurts, I'm not comparing the two play, although your boy, if he wanted to, and I did, you should respect that, because I'm the one that told you to go get Jalen Hurts and go get Jalen Hurted. I told you, and a lot of you were on board. I'm not saying we don't have great minds thinking alike here on the channel, but if I did want to say that, I could say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm not an idiot, but I'm here to tell you that what I'm hearing from teammates and very trusted people inside this situation, and what we're hearing from guys like Jair Alexander, who are saying very bold and confident things and putting their balls on the line. Like, this is what you should take away from Jair Alexander saying Jordan Love's the best quarterback in the league. He believes in him. He's putting his balls on the line to say this guy's going to succeed. And if you doubt him, you're going to look like a fool. The Green Bay Packers have also had 2 quarterbacks since 1992 or 3. So I think they get the benefit of the doubt to say maybe they do have, maybe he's not Brett Favre. Maybe he's not Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he is. Who are we to say? Who are we to say? Who is anybody to have said that Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have been Brett Favre? And he absolutely was better, in my opinion, than Brett Favre. Some would debate that. That's a debate. That's fine. You can have that debate. But Jair Alexander is telling you that he's confident. And I think he wouldn't say something which I believe, again, is crazy. He wouldn't say something this crazy if he didn't absolutely love him. So I'm getting very, very good vibes that this guy's got the locker room, that this guy's got the poise, that he's a poor man's version of Jalen Hurts in a way. I don't think he's going to climb into the top 5 quarterbacks or anything crazy like that. But could he be an 8 to 12 quarterback in fantasy football 2023? Could he put a quarterback like you draft, I don't know, a Geno Smith because you get sniped, and you also take Love? Could he be starting for you by week number 3 or 2 because you're like, wow, he did good in week 1. Wow, he did good in week 2. I'm starting Jordan Love. Yeah, if you punt quarterback and you do some sort of rotation, put this guy in it. Put this guy into your number 2 slot. If you're playing Superflex, this is the best Superflex quarterback to draft in all of fantasy football because it allows you to do 2nd and 3rd round wide receiver running back building. You go after a Joe Burrow, a Fields, a Trevor Lawrence in round 1. And round 2, you get back to business, cranking out wide receiver and running back options for your team. And then you circle back around and you get Jordan Love from all the doubters out there that don't think he's going to be throwing the football to Christian Watson on the regular, that don't think he's going to be dumping off to Aaron Jones and doing good things. I truly believe Christian Watson's going to the moon. And this guy's going to be very much supported by Christian Watson in a reverse roles kind of way that Aaron Rodgers supported Christian Watson. Aaron Rodgers taught Christian Watson on a very, very fast track how to become a man. And Christian Watson became a man very, very quickly. Jordan Love is going to benefit from a very matured wide receiver in Christian Watson that's going to play and look like he's a 3 or 4 year veteran wide receiver in the National Football League because he was matured fast. He was watered like a plant by Aaron Rodgers with Aaron Rodgers' blood. And it's going to create this flower that's going to blossom. And Christian Watson is going to be all over the field. This Deebo Samuel-like player. Oh, Smitty, you can't say that. Did he just call Christian Watson Deebo Samuel? He's very much in the vein of a Deebo Samuel, a 100 to 150 to even a 200-yard rusher if the Green Bay Packers utilize him even remotely like they did last season when they ran him and he ran a 40-yard plus touchdown, ran in another touchdown. He's 6'4". He's got 4.28 speed. He's 6'4", Christian Watson, and has 4.28 speed. Did you understand what I just said? Because Christian Watson's going to the moon. He's going to be faster on the moon. He runs a 4.15 on the moon. Jordan Love is being disrespected, and I've had it. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not scared. I'm not scared to lean on this guy if I've got to. Let's be frank, though. You know I'm drafting Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow in the 4th round. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Let's be frank. You know I'm going after Justin Fields in round number 5.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Feels like me.
Let's be honest. Your boy's going after T-Law, the Law Dog, the Milkman, the Milkman Master in round 6.
Law Dog Milk for Maines on sale this season. Soak your mane and win a league. Law Dog Milk.
Pour, soak, win. It's an easy recipe and formula. Rinse and repeat in every league. You're going to dominate. So, in all of that, Joe Burrow round 4. My favorite pick in fantasy football, if not Jahmyr Gibbs in round 4. Fields, my mid-5th to late 5th round pick. 6 if you're playing with grandmas. My second maybe favorite or third favorite strategy. So Gibbs and Burrow 4. Fields in 5 or 6. Those are my favorite. I don't know that I'm ever going to experiment with drafting and starting Jordan Love. I'm just being honest with you, which is why in the graphic I didn't say top 10 quarterback, because we got to calm down a little bit. Sometimes I do, and I got to be safe. Safe sometimes, not safe and not be bold. Safe from trying to do too much when I'm sensing a nice little season brewing out of Jordan Love, a nice little career, an on-the-rise stock value.
Stock on the rise.
For Jordan Love. Let's be careful. Let's be mindful. Let's be excited for Christian Watson, all of the touch points in this offense that relate to the growth and maturity of Jordan Love. Jordan Love is going to do wonders for Christian Watson. Jordan Love is going to be a freaking home run backup quarterback that could win you a league if for some reason he gains enough trade value where you can trade him for a component that could help you win a league. If for some reason you have an injury and this guy's got to go out there and gunsling and he plays like a top 8 quarterback, Jordan Love does his job. Don't be afraid of Jordan Love. He can absolutely be vital to you in fantasy football 2023, and he's going to be an absolute monster for Smitty-approved Moon Man Christian Watson. Where's my Moon Man?
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Christian Watson, this Moon Man, part of the reason he's on the shuttles because of Jordan Love.
Space Monsters.
Christian Watson to the absolute moon. Let's do it live. We got our first caller. Ron Navy, you're live.
Hey, Smitty.
What's up? How's everything?
Yeah. Jordan Love. I think he's going to do, I put him there with Pickett and Ritter and the season I think they're going to have. I think Love could be that caliber.
The thing I like about him is that, he costs you nothing. The risk is ultra low, and you don't ever never will take him as a starter, because like I just mapped out, I'm going Burrow, I'm going Fields, I'm going T-Law, and that's if I don't go earlier quarterback. Like, I'm not going to be in a position where I'm starting Jordan Love unless I'm doing some sort of like best ball rotation where I take Anthony Richardson. I get sniped on my Burrow, Fields, and Law ideas and concepts, and then I'm going Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love. That's a great best ball combination in a very light QB room.
He has a week 6 bye, just like Pickett does, and they both fit in nicely for when your elite quarterback has about, like, if Allen, Hurts, Mahomes have a bye, he fits in nicely. It's like I said, Pittsburgh plays Green Bay in week 10, and that's Hurts Mahomes bye week. Either one of those quarterbacks would do good to have them on your roster for that week, I think, to fill in for that week.
Yeah.
So, and then, like, your other quarterback, like Cousins and
Aaron Rodgers.
Allen. They have week 13 buys.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. See, that's the other thing, too, is I find myself grabbing Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, former teammates, just as my 1-2 punch in best balls where I get sniped like crazy. Like, a lot of times when we draft together, all those quarterbacks I love go really early, so I might be in a position more than ever with our community to go Jordan Love, Anthony Richardson, or Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to ball out. I really think Aaron Rodgers has the potential with the defensive support, the field position, the hype, the rejuvenated feeling he's got playing with these youngsters that I think are just getting the most out of him. And I think he's probably going to be the most excited he's ever been, the most involved in an organization. Like, when he's going to be getting, Aaron Rodgers is going to be getting for the first time the most say, and he's going to walk away right when he gets that. I have a feeling it's going to feed him. I think it's going to feed him. I think he's going to get rejuvenated. And I think Aaron Rodgers could breach like top 7 quarterback numbers. I really believe that. And I think that everyone's going to be watching him and at the same time going, wow, Jordan Love's looking great too. This is such a cool story. But the part that you just emphasized, there are so many quarterbacks that will play well. And so I have to be a little careful, like I said at the beginning of the show, not to get too crazy on Jordan Love, because even if he balls out, he still could finish 12, because you got all these quarterbacks that are going to be doing well. It's like the exceptional group, and Aaron Rodgers could flirt with that group. I really do think he could. But you have the exceptional group, then you have like the middle tier guys that are going to have some rotations of the slightly lower guys, the guys that could dip out of top 10 QB rankings. Those guys can still sweep in, and like Geno could be like 7 or 8. Like, it could happen. He's got enough weapons. Or Cousins could do what you believe he'll do. Or Pickett could be some kind of surprise. Jordan Love could be some kind of surprise. Goff could play like a top 7, 8 guy. There's so many quarterbacks in that 7 to 15. You just don't know.
But I mean, when you're doing best ball, you just do you do combinations of them. That's what I've done. I mean, I got exposure to Love, maybe not as much as I got exposure to Pickett or Cousins, but I still got exposure to them. So yeah, I believe Jordan Love is capable of Christian Watson. Of course, we all have more Christian Watson than anything, but you still need that quarterback to be able to get him the ball, right?
Yeah, I really think Christian Watson's gonna have a year. It's gonna be amazing. Rock out, hang tight real quickly. I'm in.
Chihuahua's out.
I'm 40. I'm a man. Take a shot for me. Rock out. You're 40. You turned 40 today.
No, remember that quote by that coach?
Oh, I was like, how did Rock out turn 40? He doesn't look 40.
State coach?
Okay, I got you. I was like, Rock out. You're not close to 40, right? I don't. You are 40, are you?
I got some years to go.
Okay, you still got some years. Not that 40's bad. I mean, I'm over 40. But I'm just saying, like, you didn't seem 40. You seem like you're still a young tyke. Yeah, rock out. Appreciate your super chat. Confusing me there for a minute. We got Thomas with a super chat. It says, what's up, Smitty? 1.12 Dynasty Superflex startup. This guy punted QB, Bijan, Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Christian Watson, grabbed Love and Goff at the 4-5 turn. Let's go. Appreciate it, Smitty. See, that's like a crafty way to do it. Like, you punt it. You try and get Fields or T-Law later when you're punting QB, and if it doesn't work out, there you go. Love could be exactly what you did. No one's going to grab Love, and they shouldn't, to be their lone starter. You grab them with an equivalent potential player like Goff or like Aaron Rodgers or whatever, and then you hope for the best. And by the way, Aaron Rodgers is loving life right now, as I said, and so is Garrett Wilson. And we got a new little Garrett Wilson animation. I told you I'd get one. I spent a lot of time on it last night. That's why I'm a little tired today, to be honest. It's a little ridiculous what I do. At the end of the night, I said, I gotta change my ways. What in the hell am I doing? It was 4 a.m. when I finished the Garrett Wilson animation, and it didn't stop there. I created a second one right after that. I just can't help myself. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Here it is. Garrett Wilson, you've seen it already, a lot of you. Here we go. Come on, man. Pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, man, it's Devontae Adams again. Call me back, bro.
In your eyes, the light that hit your eyes, incomplete, no lies.
And if that wasn't enough, I got a little amped up about the Jets in general. I started thinking about Breece Hall. I started smiling and gleaming at pictures of Sauce Gardner. I started looking at Aaron Rodgers dropping back and throwing missiles in practice again to Garrett Wilson. So I said, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Your eyes.
Garrett Wilson and the boys.
Your eyes.
Rodgers has new toys.
Your eyes.
The lights, the heat.
Your
A
eyes.
Jets fan complete.
Your eyes.
You don't want to test Sauce Gardner's heat.
Your eyes.
I want to watch Breece Hall's quick feet.
Jets country, let's ride.
We are all in. I'm all in. I think a lot of you are all in on this New York Jets football team. The Jets country, let's ride. Let's go. Let's go. Rock out. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, I think Jordan Love will be probably 11 to 14 in my mind.
11 to 14. Yeah, I mean, certainly a respectable territory. If you finish 11, people would be like, wow, what a big year. What a huge year out of this guy.
Yeah, no one had nothing on freaking Holmes when he first came out. He only had like one game for that following year.
Yeah, and if you look at Underdog on the pick'em, Jordan Love's got a very, very nice couple higher low lines. Let me find it right now. I want to say, first of all, Aaron Rodgers has 28.5 passing TDs over. That feels ridiculous, to be honest. Yeah. That feels ridiculously low. And I'm going to send that over and drag that on screen in a second just so everybody can take a gander at it. But that's awesome. That's awesome. This Jordan Love one's really good too. I want to say it's like 16 or 18 touch. Let me find it before I. 21.5 touchdowns. That's really, really, I think, doable for him. That's a bad year. That's almost like a quarterback. The expectation they have for him, if he only threw 21 touchdowns, I imagine they would be moving on. You know, like that's the kind of season that would be in my mind. I think he can easily hit these numbers. So let me drag these on screen. Guys, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. The link's in the description of every video. The link is also dropped right here. So get in there and click that link. I'm going to pin it right now and play Underdog Fantasy's high or low pick'em challenge each week. during the season, but they also just added the season-long, again, they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. They added these season-long pick'ems where you can look at the yardage for these guys for the season, and they're like taking candy from a baby. Just take Underdog's money. They're asking you to take their money. Aaron Rodgers higher than 28.5 passing touchdowns. Jordan Love, this is just phenomenal. Jordan Love, 21.5 passing touchdowns. I think that's a cakewalk for him. I really do. And then, of course,
He can do it.
we got this Christian Watson, 5.5 TDs, which he's going to do, receiving TDs. 850.5 receiving yards. He's going to do that. Drake London with this 850.5 yardage. That's crazy as well. That's insane. But like Drake London and Christian Watson are going to crush those lines. Just absolutely crush them. I'm going to pin that link right now. If you guys want to try these out yourself, please get on over to Underdog Fantasy. Use the link that I just pinned right now. It's in the description of every video, or use promo code Smitty. All those will work, and all those will get you to where you need to be, which is dominating on Underdog's higher low pick'ems. But real quickly, before I move on here, or open the floor up to discussing a lot more of this again, Jair Alexander saying that Jordan Love's the best QB in the league. No one believes that to be true, but it does say something about how much he loves the guy, and how you don't say stuff like that over and over, and he's joking kind of in a way, like when he is like hugging him and going up to reporters, but he's proving his belief in him is the point. And I'm so pumped about it. I just think that the sky's the limit for him. And in fantasy, it's dirt cheap. It's dirt cheap. And again, we have the there's a lightsaber just on the screen randomly. Where'd this lightsaber come from? We'll just keep that right there. I think I used to underline things with this. I would go, hey, Jordan Love, this guy. Jair Alexander, this guy. Call in the phone line right here. I think I use this as like a highlighter. Yeah, let's go over real quickly and interrupt me, Rock Out and Ron, if you have anything. But I want to run over to Blake from Minnesota. Blake, what's up? What do you think about Jordan Love? What do you think about Christian Watson? What do you think about Jair Alexander's comments? Not asking if you believe them to be true, or if you believe he believes that he's the best quarterback in the league, but think a little bit, smarter about it, and maybe walk around that I don't know, negative angle of it. Like, oh, he's an idiot if he thinks that. Like, no one thinks he thinks that. But what do you think about the comments? How much confidence does Jair Alexander constantly talking about how good he's going to be make you feel about Christian Watson and the situation?
I think it's really exciting to hear, because Jair, every single day when they're scrimmaging in practice and they're going over drills, and he's seeing Love try to throw the ball up to Watson, and Jair's on him, and Love's throwing these great balls. I mean, you can really tell how the guy's feeling about it, and I'm super excited for Christian Watson to connect with them this year.
And the greater point too that I haven't even gotten to yet is that like with Aaron Rodgers playing Sauce Gardner in practice, and Garrett Wilson playing Sauce Gardner in practice. We always talk about Aaron Rodgers going up against Sauce, but Garrett Wilson's becoming you can't even guesstimate how much of a help it is for Garrett Wilson to face that defense every day in practice. It makes Garrett Wilson better. Garrett Wilson, I'm not scared of Garrett Wilson in any coverage at all. I don't care who his matchup is. I don't want to see one person come in here in 2023 and say, should I sit Garrett Wilson? He's going up against a tough, Niner defense, or something like that. Do the Jets even play the Niners? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anybody say that the Jets going up against a tough defense is going to make you sit Sauce Gardner, because Sauce Gardner goes up against the best defense in practice every single day. And on the flip side of what you just said, and what I want to hammer home here, is that Christian Watson is playing against Alexander. Jordan Love is throwing to Christian Watson against Alexander, what you just said. And that is so hard to measure in terms of how much it helps everybody involved, and it just gets me excited. You know what doesn't excite me? And I'm sorry I keep ripping on the Raiders and Adams. I know people think I hate Adams. I don't hate Adams. I hope Adams gets traded, but he probably won't, because it's just not going to, his contract won't allow it. But what I, maybe later in the season. But what I do fear is that you don't have those same things going on in Las Vegas, there's no good defense to practice against. There's no way for Jacobs and Adams to get anywhere near the I don't know, the momentum or the ability to get better and better and better, like going up against one of the worst defenses in the league in practice. Like, it's just not the same, you know. It's just such a good opportunity for Jordan Love every day to be throwing a football in Alexander's direction, and for Aaron Rodgers to be thrown in Sauce Gardner's direction. It's just awesome. I can't wait. That's why I love Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love so much, is because of their defense, their practices that they get to partake in every day to improve, you know, their skills and hone in on things. I'm super amped. Would you take Jordan Love as your starter or as your co-starter with like an Anthony Richardson, Blake?
Yeah, I would. I really like those. Like, if you're waiting on a quarterback and you come down with like an Anthony Richardson and a Jordan Love, like you're using both those guys. Like, you know, this guy's this matchup, this guy's this matchup, and you're kind of going back and forth between those. I think both those QBs have really good potential, with Richardson's run ability, with his athleticism overall, and Love just being on a great connection with Watson. Everyone's loving him. I feel like those two are a really good combination if you're waiting late for quarterbacks.
Yeah, Overcome dropping a $4.99. Appreciate that. I don't see a message attached. I'll go look for it if you drop something. Navage dropped a startup draft. Smitty, Fields, Brees, Pollard, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Christian Watson, D. Hopkins, Kincaid. I feel like I need a running back. Options are Tony, Mingo, or do I go Khalil Herbert or Roshan? So you've got Fields, Brees, Pollard, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek, Watson, Hopkins. That's really good. Kincaid, I like that a lot. Yeah, I probably go, man. I like Khalil Herbert and Tony about the same. I like Tony a tad more, but for your situation, given they're really close, maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe he still goes Tony. Maybe you can trade for an RB. Maybe Khalil will still be there. Maybe you'll still get Roshan, and I don't know that I'd pass on Tony. What do you think, Ron? Would you go Kadarius Toney or Khalil Herbert? I know his position of need is running back, but I don't know. I feel like maybe you could just make a trade, or I like Khalil a lot. It's just, I don't know. They're both.
Yeah, I like Khalil too, but I mean, who's this quarterback again?
Fields.
Yeah, I'd rather go that direction than Tony. That you don't really have anything. I mean, why go Tony?
I guess Navage, let me know if it's a you said a startup. It's a startup dynasty. Okay, so it's not best ball. The stacking doesn't really matter in best ball, or if it's non-best ball. But I would say
Herbert.
I'd say give me Kadarius Toney. I'd roll the dice and then try and make a trade later. I like Khalil a lot. I still try and get him, but there's still question marks there. There's question marks about Tony staying healthy though, but at least he's in the number one wide receiver role. Like, it's very clear and apparent that he's the number one wide receiver. He could lose it. He could get hurt. I mean, but Khalil is still potentially in a committee, which I don't know that I think he'll grab a hold of the starting job and not look back, but I don't know. That's still it's like a gamble. It's a little bit of a gamble. It's not a guarantee. It's just my thought. I think he will. He's number one in the National Football League in yards per carry last year. Number one out of every running back in the National Football League, and he had like 700 or 800 yards. It wasn't like he had like 100 yards and had a weird number, an anomaly type season. It was like 700-800 yards rushing. I think Khalil Herbert had about 7, and then 7 yards a carry. Don't quote me on those numbers, but they're close.
That's another thing you got to look at. What RBs are there after Herbert?
Yeah, I mean, Navage, you could call in and we could really, go through this with a fine-tooth comb if you want. Overcome, appreciate your super chat and dropping that, but yeah, Navage, call in if you want some serious help with that question. Where's Overcome?
Hey, Smitty, one more thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, remember we had a goal for 20K by my birthday on June 30th?
Yes.
Yeah, we got some work to do.
We got some work to do. We're almost at 19K, so subscribe if you're new, and let's ramp it up. I mean, things do ramp up very, very crazy, like in the July, August, September, October months. So we'll climb to 20K really quickly. But yeah, I want to get to 25K. I want to get to 30K by the end of the year, at the very least. I think we can do it. It's not just about numbers, but it's about growth. You know, I want people to know about the show. I want the show to grow. It's not the number, it's the growth. You know, I'm very excited about the growth. Russian collusion dropping when Smitty's still 10 openings in the Garrett Wilson draft. Yeah, I'm going to drop that at the end of the show. Appreciate you, Russian's first one in the building on the Garrett Wilson draft. If I put it in there, everyone's going to be bugging me to draft, and I don't want to draft on this show, on the new show. But at the end, I'll drop it. Thank you, Collusion. Collusion's waiting in there patiently. We'll fill it as soon as the show's over. We'll fill it, and then the draft will begin. So look for a link at the end of the show. Young says... Oh, Young's responding to somebody else. Appreciate you being here, Young. I am a Mars man, and I'm down, says Veda. Appreciate Veda in the building. Klondike, Jordan Love, throwing Mars man emojis out. I don't know about that, but definitely love the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he cracked the Moon Man list. I don't think he will, but you never know. I think I have like one more spot to play with, and I don't think he's definitely satellite man capable. Jake the Snake dropping a super chat says, we are overlooking CD. I don't think so. I think we talk about CD a lot. I think CD Lamb's got a lot of potential. I don't think anybody's overlooking him, but Dallas is going run heavy, and their play calling is turning to, McCarthy, which is a little bit of a concern, I think. We got a caller from the 720. You're live on the show. Navage, my guy. What's up, Navage?
What's up?
Okay,
What's
so
up, man?
Yeah, tell us. So just to refresh everybody's memory about what we just talked about, Navage is in a Dynasty startup. Navage, let me put you in the system here, so when you call, I will see you next time. Navage is let's see, it's right here on the right side of the screen. Jake the Snake, let me come back to your comment. We'll address CD Lamb in a lengthy reply here. But startup Fields, Brees, Pollard. Make sure you get Deuce Vaughn.
Yep.
That would be critical for you to at least lock down something. And if, let's say, they bring in Zeke, you got to grab Zeke too, or whatever, if they bring Zeke back. Garrett Wilson, Tyreek, Watson, Hopkins, Kincaid. I feel like you need a running back. So are you starting all of those wide receivers, and then this next player you're not starting? Is that correct?
That's correct, yep.
Okay. So can you list off the top 10 running backs available on your pre-rank list?
It's pretty dry. Monty, B-Rob, Khalil, Algier, Jamal Williams, Roshan, Bigsby.
Man, Monty's not bad, bro. I mean, as much as we're big Garrett Wilson fans, I always tell people, Garrett Wilson fans, Jahmyr Gibbs fans, as much as we're big Jahmyr Gibbs fans, Jahmyr Gibbs and Monty have different roles in the offense. Like, they can both still do well.
Yeah.
Like, everyone always says it. Smitty, Gibbs is not going to be as good as you think. They're going to use Monty. Like, I don't even understand why people don't listen to what I'm saying. I could care less. Monty has nothing to do with Jahmyr Gibbs. Nothing to do with him. There's a certain amount of workload that Jahmyr Gibbs can't afford to take on, or he'll get hurt. He's not a 280-pound running back. So Monty's going to eat. I'd probably sacrifice the future move here, bro, because you are plenty good on future. You have Brees, you have Pollard, you have Fields, you have Garrett Wilson, you have, Tyreek Hill's older, but, he still has probably 2 years left. Watson's, a young spring chicken. Kincaid's the future of the tight end category. You've got Hopkins, who's a nice older player that will do well for you. I'd probably go Monty if I'm you and shore up the running back room if it's me.
Okay.
I think that's just a smart move because he could have 2 years left as well. Is there a world where what?
I didn't know if grabbing Herbert and Roshan, and locking up that backfield would be the way to go, you know?
Well, it's not completely
I could
locking
probably
it
get
up.
both of them.
It's not completely locking it up, though, because there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, that's true.
That would make me hesitate a little bit in thinking, oh, yeah, this will be. But, like, Monty should be good for 2 years, you know, be at least a playmaker for you, like a guy that could score touchdowns. And I don't think I'd pass on Monty in that scenario. Does anybody on the phone disagree? Because, I mean, he needs a running, like, he's really thin at running back, and they're about to all be dried up.
Nah, I really like Montgomery as well.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't root against, you know, not root against him, root for Jahmyr Gibbs, because they're, like I said, they're completely different. Like, they could both score, they could both have big games. You know, they might play at the same time, and don't worry about it. Yeah, go get Monty. I mean, I like Khalil Herbert, but what? All right. Good question though. What do you guys think about this CeeDee Lamb comment by Jake the Snake? Let's go over to Ron Navy real quickly. I don't think anybody honestly is overlooking him. He's getting drafted in like the 11 to 13 overall territory. Sometimes like he goes earlier than that. And I think 1,309 TDs with Dak out for 1/3 of the season was what he says, and not fully healthy. Security blanket, Schultz is gone. I think 1,200, 1,300 yards and 7 to 8 touchdowns puts him right around where we're drafting him. So I don't think we're overlooking him. I think that there's more of a risk of him to go down a little bit, not a lot. I'm not saying I love CeeDee Lamb, but I think there's more risk of him going down than going up. I don't see a world where he goes up. I think he could only repeat this in this kind of unknown territory of the Dallas Cowboys offense right now. It doesn't feel like they're going to throw more to CeeDee Lamb. It feels like he could maybe do the same. Does anybody disagree on the phone? Let's go to Ron real quick.
I think, I haven't drafted hardly any of Lamb because I like others better. Plus, with the offensive coordinator moving on and McCarthy going to be calling the plays, and you just don't know what you're going to get out of McCarthy calling the plays. So that gives me a little bit reservation on that. More so, I'm more apt to go with Pollard because I know they're going to run the ball. But as far as passing the ball, who knows? And if the offense that McCarthy calls will be decent or not. We don't know that.
Yeah. I mean, the history tells us to be more worried about McCarthy play calling than to be excited about it. I mean, I know people don't want to hear that, and we all have a lot of Tony Pollard investment in shares, and I still think Tony Pollard could do well no matter what. Like, I think that they'll run the ball a lot. I'm not saying McCarthy won't be successful. I'm not saying the Cowboys won't look good. I'm not saying this won't be some kind of nice little, wow, surprise, you know. But I do believe we're teeter-tottering on the more concerned side, even if it's just a little bit, than we are on the, wow, this is, get rid of Moore. This offense has been electric for years. Let's get rid of him. And let's swing on over to McCarthy, who says, let's change it up. So you have an offense that's ranking like 5 in offense every year. And then your coach, who has had, there's concerns about him becoming the play caller. Their history tells us that. He's coming in and saying he wants to run the damn ball, which excites me about Tony Pollard. But I don't even know if I would request, like if I could choose to have them run the damn ball, run more, is what he's saying, than they ran before. I don't even know that I would want that as a Tony Pollard owner, because why fix what's not broken? So I don't know that I want to just change everything. And I'm not saying they'll change everything. I'm not saying it'll be just this run-only system, but he's making it a point. He wants to run the damn ball more so than they did, because that comment's coming out of his mouth. And it just concerns me enough to say, like, Jake, I think going at the turn picks is fine. Like, what do you want me to do? Put him at number 5? You know, like I'm worried enough to say, give me Garrett Wilson all day long. Give me this man right here, Garrett Wilson.
pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey man, it's Devontae Adams again. Call me back, bro.
In your eyes, the light that hit your eyes. I am complete, no lies.
I mean, give me Garrett Wilson all day long over CeeDee Lamb, and that's no knock on CD. It's just like Rockout said. Or Ron or Rockout, both of them. I think it was Ron. I'm just drafting other players that I like more. There's just a couple players I like more every single time Lamb's on the clock, and that's why we're not like ramping up Lamb season. Look, I still got the Get Lambed audio somewhere in here. Where is it? I got it somewhere.
Get Lambed.
We love Lamb, but bro, we got to be a little bit cautious about change. You know, when change doesn't support the narrative that you're talking here about improving or being undervalued. I don't know. Let's go over to Blake. Blake, do you feel differently? And you don't feel like you got to agree with what I'm saying. I want to know what you feel.
I personally still like CeeDee Lamb, and I don't mind him at the turn either. I just feel like I don't really feel like I'm bashing on CeeDee Lamb. I just feel like there's better options out there at that type of turn on where CeeDee Lamb is going. Like, he had a great end of the season last year, and he's pretty consistent throughout the entire thing. But I feel like I would rather have the Garrett Wilson or the A.J. Brown, just because I feel like with A.J. Brown, I mean, he's coming into his second year with Jalen Hurts. He has one of the best lines. I mean, his quarterback is way better than Dak Prescott, and their talent is around the same. So I feel like I would rather go with the guy who's sticking with the same offense and could get even better as he's getting more used to the quarterback than someone that's in a little bit more of a different situation than last year. And they're relatively the same last year.
Yeah. Did Navage hang up? I think Navage hung up. Overcome, appreciate your super chat, by the way. Thank you so much, pal. You're the man. Blake, we talked to Blake about Alexander's comments. Okay, I wanted to get Navage's comments, but that's okay. Dial into the phone line if anybody wants to jump on here. Go ahead, Ron.
Can I give you my first Chihuahua draft?
Yeah.
This is the new $4 draft. It's the first one I did. Of course, I faded quarterback, so I ended up with Cousins, Pickett, and Stroud. No big surprise there. Then Bijan, Najee, Kenneth Walker, and Charbonnet is my running backs. Olave, Watson, Addison, Johnson, Dobbs, Rice, Dell, and Jones. Charlie Jones is my wide receivers. Kincaid, Taysom Hill, and Luke Musgrave as my tight ends.
Musgrave. Hold on.
You know Musgrave.
Yeah, no, I'm just typing it. I love Musgrave.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I just trying to type it. It was not entering here. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, look, Love's going to... This is the same thing with Laporta and Kincaid. And, you know, keep in mind what I said. And people throw this back at me all the time. It's hilarious when I say Kincaid's going to ball out. And they're like, Smitty, don't you know rookies don't... Like, I'm the one that says that more than anybody. But Luke Musgrave, Laporta, Kincaid are all in very, very unique situations where there are a lack of pass catching options, and all of them are in really good passing attacks or situations. And in the case of Jordan Love, if you don't want to say really good passing attack yet, you could say that he's in a situation where they're going to be throwing a lot in the third and fourth quarter and are lacking receiving options. So all three of Musgrave, Kincaid, and Laporta are just in phenomenal rookie locations that might have rookie tight ends producing more than normal. But yeah, this is a really good team. Bijan, Najee, Walker, Sharbs, Olave, Watson, Addison, Taysom. I like it. You know me. It's not that I hate Cousins or anything. If you had like I don't know, just a slightly different quarterback, this would be like my exact kind of team. You know what I mean? Just we have a couple differences, and this is good. You know, you Addison and Cousins. I need you taking those guys so that I can get my guys. You what?
You know, when you got Swift and Kamara, I say the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, keep leaving those guys for me. I'll keep leaving Kirk Cousins for you.
I'll you know, we never have to worry about our teams being exactly the same because we have those few players that will always be different.
Yeah. How quick this Chihuahua is already really, really full. It's like it's
70,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's $20 though.
We'll be
$4
entering
so.
these tonight. The Chihuahuas, they're $4. I have not yet done one because I was busy all day making cartoons, but I'll be jumping on those tonight with you guys. We'll drop a Garrett Wilson link on the way out the door. And
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
Can I give you one of my team?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I got Kirk Cousins and Love at quarterback. Got Jefferson, Olave, London, JSN, Dotson, and Minga at wide receiver. And then running back, Gibbs, Pierce, Swift, and Herbert.
Gibbs.
And then tight end.
Gibbs, Pierce, Swift, and Herbert.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Cormette at tight end.
All right. So you got Cousins, Love, JJ, Olave, London, JSN, Gibbs, Swift, Pierce, Komet. Yeah, I mean, very balanced a little differently than Ron's, but I like it. Very similar vibe to it. Very, very solid. Can't wait to do a couple of those, or at least one tonight with you guys. So the Chihuahuas. If anybody wants to do the draft with us tonight, the Chihuahua draft, I'm going to drop a Garrett Wilson autographed jersey link at the end of the show, which will be a private league. It's not one of the Chihuahuas, but the Chihuahua draft, $4 entries on Underdog Fantasy, and the Chihuahua draft pays you $25,000 for first place, $15,000 for second. And then it's the same format: one QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, 10 bench spots. Same exact lineup as we've been drafting, but those are called Chihuahuas, and the link is pinned if you want to jump into the what?
The max is 5. You can max out at 25.
Okay. 5. We got a little background noise from you again, Collusion. I don't know what it is. I hear everything I say right back at me. You're the best. You are smart. You are good enough. You can do anything. Russian. I don't know what's going on, Russian. It's a repeat of the whole show. If anybody wants to hear what I'm saying, I'll just in a recap, just listen a minute. No, Russian, you got to call back. I don't know what's going on there, bro. It's getting worse and worse.
This is me.
So the way reverb works is that like you just send something through the microphone back through the speakers through and it just starts getting worse and worse, like an endless like loop. So I don't know, Collusion, what you're doing there with the phone. You fixed it last time. So
I don't hear it now.
Well, I hung up on him, but he could call right back. Oh. Here, let's see if he fixed it. Hold on. All right, why Russian? Why is it? It's doing it again.
No, it's still the same.
It's still the same. It's bad.
All right, man. I wanted to share my team with you, but because it was so much like Ron Navy's, my first one.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You need to mute yourself immediately when you're done talking, like right now. Like just mute yourself.
Yep.
And then when you're talking, we don't hear it. So as soon as you're done talking, just hit mute and you can stay on the line. But you gotta hit mute when you're not talking, or it just completely it's unbearable. But go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. So my team, I just want to call him because I have a similar team to Ron Navy. First Chihuahua League or Chihuahua Draft.
Hit me with it.
All right. Burrow, Cousins, Carr, Bijan, Harris, Walker, Charbonnet, Andre Miller, Devontae Smith, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson, Jonathan Mingo, Marquise Cantley, Hodgins,
Dell, Charles Jones, Ingram, and Tyson Hill.
Ingram.
Or Taysom.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right, mute yourself.
But it was just like. Yep, I will.
Hold on. Okay, so this team right here: Burrow, Cousins, Carr, Bijan, Najee, Walker, Sharp, Smith, Addison, Johnson, Ingram. Little light at wide receiver, but like you got Burrow, so that's why it's gonna look, obviously different. So I like it. It's a good squad. If you didn't have Burrow, you'd have the wide receiver that Ron had, and so just the give and the take. I like it. It's a really good squad. I think if Addison balls out, if Johnston balls out, you'll be looking good. If AJ Brown went down, Smith would be a top 6 wide receiver. He still could be a top 10 even if AJ doesn't go down or anything like that. And I'm not wishing that for AJ. It's a good team. I can't wait to build a Chihuahua draft tonight. I hope to have this team right here with Fields, but also like maybe a slightly better wide receiver room somehow, like a Watson in there or something with a Fields. Fields is going to be a target of mine in a bunch of these Chihuahuas. I think I might have Fields in 2 or 3 of them, and Burrow in 2 or 3 of them. But that's a good squad. Go ahead, Russian, if you got a follow-up question, and then mute yourself after if you could. Hello? All right, Scuba Steve, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? How you doing?
Yeah, I'll go back to you, Russian. You're on mute or something. Go ahead, Scuba. What can I do for you?
Hey, did you just see that this news that just broke on Tyreek Hill that I guess like he hit some guy or something?
Yeah, I thought about ending the live stream and going live on it again, but I'm looking into it as we're live, so sometimes it's hard for me to get into all the facts and details. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of chatter on it, and I'm wondering what's going on with it, but I'm still digging into it.
Okay, because I was just gonna ask how it affected him, but I'll wait till you get like more news on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
So like you can discuss it.
I'm still gathering stuff on it, but I don't really know what went down. I'm trying to figure it out.
He'll be fine. Tomorrow's fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not.
Nothing will happen to him.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything crazy on it yet. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see what develops.
People to death in the NFL.
What was it? What were the details that you saw on it? I'm still trying to find a lot of it.
Just the main headlines that I guess like he hit some guy at where he was staying at or something like that.
Yeah.
It just said like he's investigated over like some type of incident where he struck a Marine employee.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up here. Hold on. So Tyreek Hill is under police investigation after allegedly hitting a man at a marina in Miami on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He struck a man. It's not like he did what Kamara did. It's not like he, punching somebody. Like, I mean, we'll see. If some kind of like criminal, which it won't happen, but some kind of criminal charge and not just a misdemeanor occurred, then he'd probably face a certain standard amount of discipline, based on that criminal non-misdemeanor, like a more serious offense. But if it's a misdemeanor, even if it was a criminal misdemeanor, there's not much that's probably going to get done. Could the league fine him? If something developed really crazy out of this, could something happen? Sure, but I'm not too worried about it. Not to mention, this is the very beginning stages. It could be some different story being told by the end of the day. Like we're jumping to conclusions. But yeah, under investigation. Keep in mind, Joe Mixon was under investigation for brandishing a weapon in a road rage incident, and that went away. And then the charges were brought back and filed by the lady. But then he also had a shooting at his house where someone got shot, and he wasn't there reportedly, and then that went away. And it's just like, I don't know. For right now, there's only that he's being investigated. Allegedly slapped a boat employee, not a Marine. It was a marina.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's a Marine.
Marina, yeah, sorry. I got confused. Yeah, sorry about that.
I love
Just
Scuba.
make sure you don't gamble.
I love Scuba Steve.
If you gamble, that's the worst thing you can do in the NFL.
I love Scuba Steve. The boy was at SeaWorld, and he licked his hand and slapped an employee or something like that. And Scuba Steve's out here telling him he's hitting Marines. Oh, he's slapping Free Willy.
Yeah.
So he slapped a boat employee on the back of the head this past weekend. Give me a break. Give me a break.
It could have been like people like joking around. I mean, people used to slap necks like back in the day, like just joking around.
Yeah, this is getting worse by the minute. Yeah, he reportedly slapped a man on the back of the head like this. And so the guy probably took a dive like LeBron, like straight down to the marina floor.
Wouldn't it piss you off? Wouldn't it piss you off to no end? The league came out and gave him like a 3 or 6 game suspension before they even did anything with Kamara.
I mean, it's fitting the way the NFL handles things. It wouldn't shock me, to be honest, if they're like Tyreek Hill's out of the league. we're gonna go ahead and allow Alvin Kamara to be president of the league operations, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and remove Tyreek Hill from the league. Tyreek Hill. Yeah, so apparently, from what I'm gathering, everybody, as I'm on the live stream trying to gather information on this, it was not a Marine or a Navy SEAL that he hit, like Scuba Steve's reporting. It was a boat employee at a marina. Apparently, also, he caught a fish. And so it's obviously at a marina. He's out on the ocean. And he slapped a guy. The only thing we have is he slapped a boat employee on the head. Maybe he said, go get him. Maybe he's used to trying to test Tua's head out, and he just kind of was a natural reaction. Like he maybe gives Tua a little tap every day to see if everything's good to go. Honestly, I think if Tua got hit in the head even this hard, I'm not joking. I'm not hating on Tua. I'm just being real. If he went like this, Tua would have a concussion. Smitty, I know I am your only fan in New York, but hang up on me. Come on, man. What did he say? What did he say? Hang up on me? Come on, man. I didn't hang up on him. He hung up on himself.
Hanged up.
Yeah, Collusion said I hung up on him. I haven't hung up on anybody, Collusion. You were, I called on you, and you didn't say anything, so we moved on to Scuba Steve, but I haven't touched it. Your phone disconnected you. Dial in again, Collusion. Just keep doing that mute thing that you were doing.
Hey, may you get my DM?
Did I get your what?
My DM on IG.
No, I haven't got to any of those yet, man. I'm sorry. What is it? What is it?
Oh, son.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
He be dropping lows, he a moon man. He be dropping the lows, that's how we flow, and that's how we get it. It's moon man the love now.
Rock Out's trying to get love on the Moon Man list. I like it. Russian Smitty, I know I'm your only fan in New York, but the YouTube mobile app is glitchy. It's like keeps replaying, like Ron, you said it the other day, keeps replaying like one of the messages over and over. Russian Collusion, call in. Or maybe he's trying to call in right now. Call in. I didn't hang up on nobody. Russian. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think I think Tyreek Hill's going to be okay. I think he's going to be okay. He slapped somebody on the back of the head. Maybe the guy said something and he just went and just kind of hit him. And yeah, maybe he gets charges against him. I don't know, but maybe the guy sues him and he wins some kind of like $20,000 settlement for slapping him on the back of the head. But the league's not going to do anything about this, I don't think. But thank you, Scuba Steve, for reporting that. And
no problem.
It was going on in the chat. It doesn't seem like there's anything to it. Real quickly, I want to play Tristan's voicemail. Hold on.
Hey Smitty, if you've got Hawkinson, Kincaid, and Darnell Washington as your tight ends in a dynasty league, Are you looking to offload Hawk, or are you rolling with him and Kincaid to start the season? How are we feeling Hawkinson?
So, good question on Hawkinson, Kincaid. I would say, like, Kincaid could take some time to get going, so I don't know. I mean, he may not. He may not. It's tough to know. So, I don't know that, like, it's something I would do now. I think Hawkinson's value probably only increases or stays the same unless he gets hurt or something, which you can't predict. So, why not just wait until Kincaid's ready to go? And then maybe Hawkinson increases in value. But I would say be patient on that one. Anybody else wants to be a voicemail leaver on the daily, go to my Instagram, thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'm sorry, go to Instagram and look for The Fantasy Football Show. Type in The Fantasy Football Show and hit subscribe on my Instagram profile. And for $4.99, you get an exclusive chat with like-minded $4.99 payers that are going to be serious about answering each other's questions and hanging out all day in this exclusive chat. And then anytime you want to leave a voicemail, you just hold down the microphone and all the voicemails are for me. The chatter's for everybody. The voicemails are for me, and people just drop them and I play them and I answer them. And that's how it rolls. So get on over there and try it out. We've got Yusuf on the line. Yusuf, what's up, my man? And where's Russian Collusion? Russian, you hung up on me. You hung up on me. My only New York guy hung up on me, and then he tells me I hung up on him.
No.
And then he has a call back. Russian, call back. Yusuf, you're live.
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I was just gonna call in about the Tyreek situation, but I have somewhat of a bold take for you, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know your stance on Nick Chubb, but I think he has a strong chance of finishing as RB1 this season. Just because I feel like there's no Kareem Hunt, I think he'll see like a career high in receptions. And if Watson can shade back into form, I think it'll be a smash this season for Nick Chubb.
I do like him in spots. Like I've drafted Nick Chubb in a couple places, and it's not that crazy of a take because he was the number one running back pretty much in fantasy football through like the first half of the year. The only problem with the theory is you have not seen him play well all around. He's with Watson. So like, that, and someone could come in and say it's going to change, but really it's got to be your side of the argument's got to be proven, not my side. My side, or not even my side, because I'm not against him, but my side, my cautionary tale is that you haven't seen him play well with Deshaun Watson. You haven't. So we don't know what to expect. I mean, I think he did score a receiving touchdown. And he did have a couple decent games with good yards per carry. So it wasn't like he flopped across the board, but not one single rushing touchdown when Watson came into the lineup. I mean, that's like 6 straight weeks of no touchdowns, bro, on the ground. And you got to be a little concerned that Watson changes the pecking order of decisions made for, anything red zone related and who's getting the football, at certain times. Like, I don't know. I like him. I think I take Nick Chubb like at the bottom or maybe even middle, but bottom of round 2. Middle round 2 is fine. But, I mean, you don't have to worry about anything different because his ADP is not in round 1. But, yeah, I could get behind taking him. I feel like you also are protected a little bit in terms of his ADP, right? Because he's not going in the first round. It's not like he has to finish as a top 10 overall player. Like, he can be Nick Chubb, a little bit of inconsistent version of Nick Chubb and still earn, like, late second round or mid-second round value. So I'm on board with your prediction being, being possible. I don't know how many shares I'll have of him because I don't really know how the offense is going to look, but I do feel like in 1 or 2 leagues, I've already done it in best ball. I don't think I'd do it in a redraft league, to be honest. I do it in best ball because then you have to decide when to play anybody, and I could have a good rotation of running backs to kind of step up if for any reason he's inconsistent. But I do fear like there could be some inconsistency given what we saw in the final 6 games. That's all I'd say. Russian Collusion, you're back. Hang tight real quick, Yusuf. Russian, I didn't hang up on you.
No respect for the Mars, man. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
No respect.
I think the respect is.
Is it still getting the reverb or no?
No, I mean you're. I don't know what you do when you fix it, but it always fixes it. But
no.
I don't know if
you know what I think it was. I have you on my TV, and I also have you on my phone because I text through my phone. And I think I just turned my phone off, so I think that's what it was.
Okay, yeah. Anytime you have the show in the background, it'll have reverb. So yeah, definitely turn that off. Mars man, Russian collusion. What else do you have, Russian?
Nothing. When I heard Ron say his team, I had to share it as my first because I thought it was very similar with, I took Burrow. That was the only difference, but his wide receivers were better than mine. But it was like the same exact running back, so it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, Kevin, thank you for that $2 super chat. Yeah, Russian, appreciate you, and hang on the line here. You can sit on this little panel we got going here. And there's a couple of people that have been waiting a long time, so let's go to those people and then come back. Ninja's been on the line for a little bit. Ninja, what can I do for you? You're live.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
I love this Jordan Love topic. People are treating him as if he's like a rookie coming into the season, but this guy's had an understanding of, LaFleur's offense for many years. And he's coming in, people are thinking they're going to be super run heavy. I think they'll be more balanced than people think and be able to pass more just because Jordan Love has had that many years of really understanding and digging into the dynamics of this offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jordan Love is definitely somebody that people are going to take more seriously as the season moves along. So at first, people are going to be skeptical. I think that's going to trickle into the Christian Watson value and skepticism, which is great because maybe. Well, I don't think Jordan Love's doubt can increase. I think he'll only prove himself a little bit more and more to everybody. But Christian Watson's not climbing any higher, which is good. I sometimes see Christian Watson go in the 4th round still, but sometimes he goes in round 3. If Ron Navy's in your draft, he'll go at 24 overall. You got to be really careful. But Christian Watson is definitely, I don't want him climbing any higher. Like, I love getting him in the 4th round. Like, I feel like it's taking candy from a baby. In the 3rd round, I feel like it's not as fun. It's definitely like he's going to earn it, I think, for sure. But
yeah,
it still isn't like
Christian Watson. Oh yeah, sorry. The moment Christian Watson catches a deep pass from Love in a preseason game, that ADP will probably go up into the 3rd round or something.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan Love's floor is going to most likely be like he has these quarterbacks going ahead of him like Goff and Cousins, and I think his floor is around that range, like amongst the quarterbacks in his division. Ceiling, I don't think he'll ever get close to Justin Fields, but I think his floor as a QB is Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff.
Yeah, it definitely could be in that territory, like we talked about at the top of the show, the territory of maybe 8 to 15. Like a very, very wide range to be safe and have everybody understand that we understand when we say something like 8 that it's a big bucket of quarterbacks that are all going to be very close, and any one of them could be Cousins. Like Cousins could be 7 or he could be 12, and even if he was 12, it could be 20 points. It could be something very, very, very minute. And so Geno Smith could be 7 or he could be 14. It could be 20, 30 points difference. I mean, there's such a and
exactly,
you know what's gonna
like a Geno Smith.
And you know what's gonna make me smile is that I think the depth at quarterback, because we're only in June right now. A lot of the content creators, they sit back and they twiddle their thumbs and they don't create a lot of content like we do. We create so much content because I'm literally live like 4 or 5 hours a day, and then I'm doing other uploads and such, and I'm making cartoons, and I'm just staying busy. But we're gonna start seeing a lot of this, like the quarterback position is deeper than normal. Stay away from early quarterback. I have a feeling it's going to kick into high gear again, and it might already be because I don't watch anybody else really. I'm just on news, but I have a feeling that because it's so deep at quarterback, you're going to start seeing a lot of people pushing the stay away from Burrows and everybody Fields and Lawrence, and I know people are going to say stay away from Mahomes and Hurts and Josh Allen because they're super early quarterbacks in round 2. But the ADP is the ADP. When someone says stay away or something of that nature in terms of, let's say, Hurts in round 2, the majority of people are doing it. That's why the ADP data exists, you know? So it's like, who's smarter? The people saying don't do it, or the people that finally have come around that aren't listening to the garbage content creators out there that are saying you go early quarterback and you lose an advantage? The populace isn't listening. The populace is doing the right thing. I got a little more reverb again from whoever's got a show in the background or something, or I'm on a speakerphone or something. But it's definitely going to see. I think we're going to see as quarterbacks start rising up, like when Love rises up, even, or let's say, I don't know, another quarterback would be like Aaron Rodgers starts looking more promising with Garrett Wilson in practice. Like once those guys start climbing up, I think then people start going, okay, I'm going to wait on the quarterback, which is fine. It's not like you can't win. And our biggest win a league approach last year was Hurts and Burrow in round 6 and 7. So it's not like it's not a great move. It's a great move. It's just I'm a defender of it all because you can win 100,000 different ways. T-Law will be a dark horse top 5 quarterback. Not on this channel, bro. He ain't dark horse nothing. T-Law lives in the top 5-6, pal.
A lion lives among us, posing as half man, half lawman. His golden mane is reportedly 6 feet long and is bathed in milk.
That's right.
His marvelous mane grows longer with each breath he takes. Legend has it that if you say T-Law in the dark in the bathroom 3 times, you lose your league instantly. Conspiracy fanatics have linked his triangle bone structure to the ancient pyramids and alien theory.
Law Dog is winning some leagues in round 6, sometimes 7. Ron, have you seen on Underdog, especially with these Chihuahua? Have you done another Chihuahua while we're live, or are you still on the one?
No. I don't usually do them over. I was just finishing up. I think you were on your Dynasty channel, and I was still in that one. That's why I missed the Dynasty channel. But I was finishing the game live.
Where did T-Law go in that draft in your Chihuahua?
I think he went in the 5th or 6th round, maybe. Hold on, I'll tell you in just a second.
Trust says T-Law is trash. All right.
He went. Oh no. Yeah, he went to 6. He was the only quarterback to go to 6. But Herbert went before him.
Herbert went before him. That's good. That's good news. That's good news. And expected at this point.
Herbert, Burrow, and Justin Fields all went 5th.
Yeah. Burrow is just such an amazing steal in 2023 right now. The Fields too. Fields of dreams. Can't wait. Who else is on the line here? We got J-Far. J-Far, you're live.
You know, you kind of
hold on.
You kind of hit it on the head here with Love, and because if you think about it, the defensive teams in the NFL are going to be pushed to the line, right, in the first 5-6 games of the year. He is going to explode the first 6 games of the year. Garrett Wilson is going to be phenomenal. I think Garrett, because they're going to stack the box, and I think it just for Love, it's going to show everybody else what they don't think he is right now.
Russian's mixing up Jordan Love and Garrett Wilson and Christian Watts. He's excited about all of them. He's just mashing them all together. He's like, Jordan Love's got such a great year. Garrett Wilson's going nuts. Collusion, you're my guy. I'm a little offended that Russian Collusion thinks that he's my only New York bumper sticker out and about. I will say.
Dude, I travel all over New York and never seen another one. Never seen another one.
Trooper said he had something to say about that, though.
Yeah? Trooper
also from New York.
Trooper might
have.
Yeah,
well, hopefully he pulls me over when he sees me.
He's like,
because he's got to prove it to me.
Can you imagine if a show member pulled over a show member? If a Trooper Dave pulled over a show, Trooper Dave would be like, "Got one question for you. I got one question for you, Joe Burrow. Ha ha ha! Get out of here." That'd be great. Okay, just real quick.
That would be awesome.
A lot of people are saying in the chat right now that Tyreek Hill's in trouble. We've already talked about it. This is the report right here. He slapped a man on the back of the head. He slapped the man on the back of the head. It was first said to be by our own caller. Scoop is still here. It was he hit a Marine, but as soon as we looked at the report, it was he slapped a marina employee while he was fishing. So the story's changed real quickly. But T-Law's trash. I don't understand why this is still on my screen. Trust, you need to learn about it, bro. You need to learn about it.
Oh no.
And you need to go to T-Law school because you need to know what time it is. You don't seem to know what time it is with T-Law. T-Law's gonna cook, bro. Get ready for it. Okay, we had Jay Farr trying to talk a minute ago. Jay Farr, go ahead.
How are you, Smitty? From what I've heard so far, that Marina member is not pressing charges, so I think Tyreek Hill is good. But tell Ron Navy, thanks so much for giving me Trevor Lawrence in our Dynasty League for Lamar Jackson.
I'm pretty good, Jay Farr.
How you doing, Ron?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. But here's the question: you're saying you're from New York now, but you're only a part-time New Yorker. You're a part-time Floridian. So here's the question: where's your driver's license? Is it Florida or New York?
I changed it last year to Florida.
Exactly. So you're from Florida. You're
See you later.
New York.
See you later, New York.
Yeah, listen. The no tax is a big plus here. Got to give it to the governor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Overcome says, good news for my 43% Aaron Jones shares. You talk about all the Jordan Love stuff. Yeah, I think Aaron Jones could have a good year. I don't know. He's got to stay healthy. That part concerns me a little bit as he gets older and older. But, I mean, he certainly could have a good year. Underrated year. And got good ADP. Dude, you need bumper stickers. Well, they're not really bumper stickers anymore. If you say bumper stickers, the kids will make fun of you. They're called decals now. But we do have decals, and you can get them on my merch store. And the merch store is, if you just go to the on the YouTube app, if you click on that join button, gets you on the YouTube exclusive memberships, as does the membership tab. But right next to it is store. On mobile and on desktop, you can see memberships, and then you'll see store. If you click on store, you should be able to go into the store, and you can shop for all the different merch. Look at this merch right here. Look at the Bijan running back 1 shirts, the backpacks, all that, and the hats. Guys, the hats are coming. Grindhouse, I canceled all my hat creations on all of the different drops, shipping sites and stuff that I have, because the clothes, the backpacks, all very good quality. The backpacks especially are awesome. But hats are a different monster, and I think a lot of these clothing company, merch companies, they try and just get in the hat game because people want it, but hats are really tough. And I created a couple hats, did not like them at all, and I only want quality. And all the backpacks, the merch, it's all quality. But I'm gonna have Grindhouse. I'm having Grindhouse work on the hats, and the hats look pretty killer. These are the hats so far. Let me see. So it's an actual, it's a flex fit. They'll have small, medium, which is one size, and large XL, which is another size. So there's 2 different flex fit hats, but this is an embroidered patch, the logo on the front. On the back, it's not embroidered, but it's it's not raised, but it's writing on the back, ironed on. So it's going to be a really good quality The Fantasy Football Show on the back, and then an embroidered, ironed on, heated, patch on the front of the hat. So these are going to be awesome. I don't know if they're going to have different colors. I'll let you know on that. They might. So hang tight on that. But there'll be a link for the hats where you guys can get them. And so I'm going through Grindhouse because I want a quality hat. I don't want to deal with this crap, stuff that comes off. That's what we had when I bought a hat for the first time on the store that I created. It just wasn't the same. The merch is great though. Everything else is perfect. The back. Look at the backpack. This backpack is awesome. This is in the merch store, but this backpack is phenomenal. You know, even all of the logos and everything is just great quality. This sucker is awesome. All right, J4, what else you got?
Yeah, I just saw the title of the video today, and I couldn't agree more. They got rid of Aaron Rodgers for Jordan Love. They know what they're doing. They've seen him for 3 years. He definitely has a good grip on the playbook, and Christian Watson's value is about to explode come Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's the writing on the wall. They gave him a contract extension. He hasn't even played 5 games. When have you ever heard that?
Christian Watson's going to the moon. Absolute moon. Absolute moon. And Jordan Love. Even if Jordan Love isn't as good out of the gate like I think he'll be, they're going to be throwing to Christian Watson a ton. And the fact that we've seen, even though it's a small sample, we've seen that touchdown connection where Love goes out onto the field, goes 6 of 9 for 100+ yards, and just throws a touchdown pass to Christian Watson. And if I remember that play correctly, it was a big throw. It was a long throw, a deep throw. And Christian Watson got under it. And obviously Christian Watson made a big play to score on the touchdown and did not get tackled. Guy's elusive. And the good news is, as Jordan Love works on accuracy, as Jordan Love works on different things that he will need to work on, he's not going to be perfect out of week 1. Watson's the kind of wide receiver that will help him turn a maybe good but could have been better throw into a touchdown pass. So he did it on that play. So and Love looks pretty good in practice. I've seen a lot of footage on him. He looks pretty good throwing the football. And again, the fact that Jair Alexander is saying things that, yes, they're ridiculous. I get it. Nobody's saying that what he's saying is true. This comment of he's the best QB in the league it's almost like a stupid comment. Like, we all know that. Everyone knows what's going on. But you don't say things like this if you aren't ultra confident in your quarterback. You might say, I love Mahomes, but, like, look what Tyreek Hill was saying about Tua, which we all thought was crazy, ridiculous. And I still think it is ridiculous. Mahomes is the best quarterback across the board. I don't want to hear about accuracy, different offenses, different amount of volume getting tossed out. So I don't think Tua is a more accurate quarterback. But Tua went out and said, okay, maybe Mahomes is a better quarterback, but Tua is a more accurate quarterback, which we don't agree with. Nobody's saying it's true. But that was a way of, like, cautiously backing your quarterback. And he believed in him. And I think that the way Jair Alexander is going about it, not just saying it like it'd be different if he was up on a podium answering questions and someone said, is Jordan Love good? Yeah, I think he could be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And that was it. Like, they moved on. This guy's going in front of cameras while Jordan Love's getting interviewed, putting him in a headlock and saying this is the best quarterback in the National Football League. That's just you got to take that for what it is. It's confidence. It's loving him, believing in him. Like, he's got the locker room. He's got the defense on his side. And Alexander's going up against him in practice, making him better. Just like Sauce Gardner is with Aaron Rodgers. This is a phenomenal thing on a bunch of different levels. It's not just let's say he was traded to the Raiders. Let's say Aaron Rodgers stayed in Green Bay and Love was traded to the Raiders. He wouldn't be getting, even though he had Adams, he wouldn't be getting the defensive help that he's getting day in and day out in practice because the Raiders don't have that kind of defense. I mean, you could say up front, but not in the secondary. I really believe that he is going to be so much better than the average person believes him to be. And I want him in a lot of leagues as my QB2. I just do. For a lot of reasons. A lot of trade reasons, a lot of injury concern reasons. Like, I just want him there as my QB2. And because defensively, I don't want anybody else to have him. If I think he's going to be this big of a steal, if someone waits on a quarterback and I do go Joe Burrow early, I do go Fields early, I do go Mahomes or whatever, I don't want somebody to escape and get somebody that plays like a top 8 quarterback or something like that. I'm gonna scoop him up for that reason.
I know it's crazy to say now, but I think Jordan Love might be an upgrade from Aaron Rodgers week 1. It's crazy. It sounds crazy, but it might really happen.
Well, I don't necessarily think you can say that about skill set wise, but maybe like at this time with the fit and where they want to take the team, and maybe Jordan Love takes a big enough step that like Aaron Rodgers needed to go somewhere where he had defensive support, where he had different weapons. Or, you know, I think Aaron Rodgers could have thrown and had good yardage and good whatever, but keep in mind Aaron Rodgers was not as motivated in Green Bay. If they weren't winning, what's Aaron Rodgers in it for? Like an unmotivated Aaron Rodgers might produce less in Green Bay than a young, improving Jordan Love that is going to give it his all no matter what. And Aaron Rodgers is at a point in his career where he's like, what am I even doing out here? You know, what am I doing out here? We got three. Our record's 4-4. What am I doing out here? Like, I don't know that I want to be out here. This is my final season. I'm not winning a Super Bowl. I'm not going to the playoffs. Jordan Love is gonna, to your point, maybe play better than Aaron Rodgers would have in Green Bay. But Aaron Rodgers in New York, they're gonna get every bit out of him in New York because he's gonna be motivated, excited. They're gonna be winning. It's gonna be unbelievable. Love or Carr? That's a good question, Jarrett. I'd probably say like Carr's safer. And I think Carr's got something to prove too. And Olave's going to just feast. So I go back and forth on that one. I want to say Love, to be honest, but I think Carr is safer. Denny dropping a $20 hauler right on screen.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate you, Denny.
Where's Denny?
Yeah. Russian, what else you got?
Well, I've just been thinking about these marksmen, and, you know, when you're talking about all the shirts and stuff like that, I was thinking, you know, maybe we should have, you know, the Smitty make us a Ron Navy shirt, a Russian Collusion shirt, and we could add it into our fees for our league, but that's my opinion, not Ron Navy's or anybody else's. But, you know, I think it'd be good to be sporting around a Russian Collusion, the fantasy football show shirt around town in New York, because, you know, I'm the only fan here, so you know how it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. The problem is, you know, how hard it is for me to even go to the post office and mail the Moonman cards. the Marsman cards.
Come on, where's your secretary?
Yeah, I need one. I need to get Miss Smitty in here to handle all this. But it would be hard to make 24 customized shirts and get all that. Even if we could, it would be hard to. But my hope is that you want to buy a shirt anyway at the merch store, especially when we got some awesome ones out there, like the Bijan running back one. I've got a bunch of them. We got the Kenneth Skywalker shirts. We've got all kinds of shirts. So hopefully you can still sport the merch anyway. I'll have some. I think Grindhouse is coming out with I think we're going to do a shirt a month or a shirt every 2 months or a hoodie. I think it's going to be a hoodie shirt, whatever you want it to be, but we'll call it a hoodie. And the first hoodie that Grindhouse is going to produce, it'll probably have a Grindhouse movie poster on the back. And then on the front, the very first one is going to be this one right here. It's going to be the T-Law milk carton. Wait, let me see if I can find it. That's not the correct one. Hold on. It's the T-Law.
You know what you could do?
This one.
Is you wouldn't have to make customize every single one. You make a Marsman shirt with all the Marsman members, and then you make a Moonman shirt with all the Moonman members.
Yeah. It'd be hard. It'd be hard for me to fit that into what I'm doing right now. My schedule's crazy. Like that would take me like 3 days of content that I would lose. But what you can do on the merch stores, you can customize every one. I think you can put your name on any one of the shirts. You can grab any one of these shirts, like the Bijan running back one. I believe you can put your name anywhere. Like it lets you customize it. So if you wanted to put Russian Collusion on it, you could do it the way you exactly wanted it to. But Grindhouse will have this T-Law milk shirt ready for me, I think, in the coming, hopefully, weeks. And this will be on a hoodie or T-shirt, and it'll have the T-Law milk on the front, and then it's going to have on the back a movie poster of some sort. So expect to have some sort
Is it gonna have your logo on it, though, Smitty?
Well, I'll figure that out with them and see. I'll try and see if they can put it on there. It might say Grindhouse times Smitty, and then it'll have the milk carton.
That'd be awesome.
Like the ones I have, over here, these shirts that we did. These are the ones we gave out to all the homeless. This is Grindhouse times Smitty, and it has the logo, it has the face and everything, and then on the back it has Franken.
Look like he's a missing child. Remember how they did it at the golf course?
Yeah. Well, that's where a lot of the
he is when nobody wants to draft him, he's gonna be.
He is missing.
And we're gonna
People are
pick him up
sleeping
in the
on
late
him.
round.
People are sleeping on him. That milk puts hair on your chest, says Matt O. It does. It does. It grows hair everywhere. Love the show, Smitty. Content top tier. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. We have somebody that called in here a second ago. Jonathan, I think. Jonathan, you're live on the show. What can I do for you?
What's up, Smitty? How's it going, bro?
What's up, bro?
So, I was just calling just to kind of change the subject a little bit because I haven't heard much from your boy Sean Tucker, and I was just wanting to know like what you thought about him. I know he's a free agent, signed with Tampa and all that, and they say that he's good to go for training camp. But are you still pretty high on him, or do you think he's just gonna not really do anything?
I mean, JFar jumped off. JFar, see you later, pal. Appreciate you calling in. I'm not super high on him right now. I like his talent. I like him a lot, but I'm drafting in best ball drafts, and I'm never taking him. And those are 18 rounds. So like, could I in like a 24 round, 22 round? I mean, of course I could in like a deep dynasty or something like that. It's not that I'm not like keeping tabs on him. Like I'm going to monitor the situation, but there's two things that concern me. And, my theory of multiple red flags is just kind of step away, is that he plays in an awful offense. I'm already worried about Rashad, or he's in Tampa. Yeah. Plays in an awful offense.
Yeah,
I'm already backing off Rashad White, unfortunately. And I hate to do that because I love Rashad White. I don't trust this QB room at all. They look awful. They can't hit a player 7 yards downfield. Maybe they changed that, but this is awful. This is one of the worst offenses in the National Football League, and it has two amazing wide receivers in Mike Evans and Godwin. I just don't know. I don't know. He's got to not only climb up and get into the starting role somehow, but if he does, is he getting 3.1 yards per carry anyway? Is he going to look like he's failing? That's my fear for Rashad White, is Rashad White's finally getting a shot, and I should be screaming at the rooftops, getting excited, but instead I'm more worried about that it's going to look like he crapped the bed because he's going to get out there and get hit and not get good yards per carry, and maybe he surprises and maybe he does well. Maybe somehow, some way the Bucs move the football down the field, but I'm just not hopeful of it, so I'm going to stay away. And second of all, I mean, nobody drafted Tucker because of this medical thing, which I believe it was either a heart. We don't even fully know the extent of the situation because we're not really being told.
It was like a heart. He has like a heart disease in a way.
Yeah, but
I was reading something about it. It was like one of his like stress tests came back kind of like funky, and they were just kind of like monitoring it, but they didn't do like anything like cardiac wise. So I just think the whole situation is kind of weird.
It sucks. It sucks for him.
Like in college, he was a beast. And I just remember, watching one of your old videos, because I believe he was one of your moon men. Right?
Yeah, he was. Like
at the beginning of the year.
For sure.
And I just remember, you talking really highly about him, and I was just, because I have him in my Dynasty team. I have him on my taxi squad. I just have him there just sitting pretty, just, hoping that he does something.
Yeah, let me
put
it
I
this.
just wanted to see what your thoughts were about him.
Yeah,
So.
I'm monitoring him, but he might not even make the team.
I know.
So like Chase Edmonds is there still, I think, and so he's gonna have an edge over him. Sean Tucker's not just walking straight into the number 2 spot, but could he grab a hold of that 3 spot and not get released? Maybe, but he's got to make the team. He's got to get over whatever this off the field thing is. And while there are people that have speculated on it, I don't think anybody really truly actually knows. Like, I think NBC reported earlier that they didn't even know what it really was. People are saying it's a heart thing, but I don't even know if that's true. Like, I can't even get, like, good confirmation on it. But it was enough to keep him from like a combine performance. It was enough to keep him from getting drafted, and he plays for an awful team, and we just don't. So, like, there's a lot of concerns. And putting my gut to the test on it, I'm not drafting him. You know what I mean? But I still like him. So, like, let's say Rachaad White went down, God forbid, and he somehow started gaining some steam. Of course, I would jump on board because I loved his talent. He had like I think it was 12 touchdowns and what was the yardage? It was crazy yardage. 12 touchdowns.
It was like 15.
Yeah, 1,500
like
yards.
1,500 yards.
Yeah, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. 5'9", 207. So he's not like huge, but he's not small. Pretty decent size, good fit for an NFL back. I mean, he's got a lot of upside, but we just can't go near that right now. Like, Deuce Vaughn is a guy that lasts to the last round in fantasy football drafts and 18-round drafts. I'm taking him over Sean Tucker, you know. So that's the only problem.
Yeah.
Or McBride. McBride in Minnesota's better than Tucker, you know.
I have taken Sean Tucker. I've taken him a few different times. And I take him because I love his tenacity. I love his fight. I think he could be very easily a number 2 running back down there. And I don't care so much about the quarterback situation or whatever. I believe in Sean Tucker to an extent where I'm going to take him in the last round. Not in a lot of drafts, but enough to where I can be unique. It gives me unique because not that many people are going to take him.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely has a chance to play and be a number 2 running back. And he could be a difference maker, I think, come the end of the year.
Monitor him for sure and just keep tabs on him.
Ron, I agree with that. And also, I think the best thing that could happen with him is they actually cut him. Because then he could possibly go to a good team that actually needs him.
Agreed. But the only concern is will a team because he might have got lucky and got the only team that would take him on. But yeah, I agree with you. If he gets out of there and he goes somewhere like, I mean, God, I'm trying to even think of a situation that where there's just a kind of a weird opening, but that would be good. That would be an excellent way back into my good graces.
How about Arizona? Not that Arizona's offense is going to be good, but they need backs. I mean,
yeah, it
a lot
could
of
be.
teams need backs.
Connor's very injury prone. I think that I was going to say that a second ago. That's definitely a good spot. Collusion, by the way, appreciate your 20. Appreciate your 20 gifted memberships, Collusion.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super.
Appreciate that, Collusion. Baltimore, yeah, that's not a bad thought. Baltimore could work because J.K. Dobbins is, injury prone. That whole room's injury prone. They're all like on borrowed ACLs, and so there's definitely an opportunity there. The Bills, yeah, JCIM said the Bills worked them out. That would be a good potential place, because
Minnesota would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, they like McBride a lot. I think McBride and Madison are so good. I don't know that I will want him. I want him in a more vulnerable place, but I mean, it could be. You never know. KC, like you never know what happens there. Like McKinnon gets used.
Let me ask you something because I'm a little biased, and I love Deuce Vaughn. But you think he's better than Deuce Vaughn?
In Deuce Vaughn's situation, no. But like if before the draft, yeah. Before the draft, you got to remember he's my number 4 or 5. I forget exactly where I had him, but he's like number 4 running back ranked. Like I really like Sean Tucker. He was one of the earlier Moon Men, and I'm not just gonna keep him on just because he was. Like I'm trying to recognize the situation, and I could only afford to have so many Moon Men on the list before and I don't want to leave anybody that has super big time red flag situation going on. And he does. I mean, his situation is not good. It's not a good environment. I think it's such a bad environment. I don't feel like I don't feel like taking the gamble on Rashad White in very many drafts at all. I just don't. So why would I go after Tucker? So, but keep an eye on him. I think you're onto something, Collusion. He needs to get cut. If he gets cut, then maybe he gets into a better spot. I like that idea better. The Jets would be, I guess that'd be crowded, but you never know. I mean, he's just got to go somewhere where there's a vulnerability. And I'm not saying I want Breece Hall to get. I'm just saying, like, if anything happened, I'm trying to think of a place where he could go. There's not a lot of places where he could just go start. He's just got to go where maybe a pathway opens up. Hopefully nothing happens to Breece Hall. But, I shouldn't even said that.
I think Rashad White's more. I feel like Rashad White's better at catching the ball than
Rams?
an actual a front runner.
Rams? Well, they want him to be an every down back though. Like Rashad White's getting a shot. They said he's going to be a 3-down back. He's going to get the shot to be the 3-down back. Problem is, it's great, awesome. Now he gets the opportunity, and Brady's gone, and it's all it's yeah. Bengals would be an interesting spot. Bengals would be pretty good. I'd say Matt O, that's one of the better ones. Bengals would be great. Because guess what? They might cut Mixon. They cut Mixon, then all of a sudden it's him and Chase Brown, and I like the combination of those guys for sure.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you, brother. Keep it up.
Yeah, man.
Good work, man.
Yeah, appreciate you. Scuba Steve.
Later, brother.
Later. What else you got, Scuba? Scuba.
Hey, Smitty. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, question, because you were talking about Trevor Lawrence. What do you rank his weapons? 'Cause I know that Calvin Ridley is coming back. So I remember, I think it was a couple of videos. Some people were talking this guy's going to be back to being elite, and maybe remember you said to wait a little bit.
On who? On who? On who?
Oh no, Calvin Ridley. I remember you saying puff the break, draft him, but I think people were. I remember you saying a video a while ago, watch the expectations, because some guys think that he's gonna go back to elite form and stuff. I was just gonna ask you, what do you think? I know you're high on Trevor Lawrence. How high are you on Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk? Where do you feel comfortable drafting those guys?
Well, I wouldn't say that I didn't think he could get back to elite level. It's more so that the expectation is high, and you got to make sure you price it in. The risk, it's really hard to take a hiatus, especially a more than 1 year absence from the NFL, come back and not lose a step. So the expectation needs to be priced in, the risk needs to be baked in. Then I'm on board. Then I'm on board taking the gamble that he could be. So it's not that I never liked him as a shot at being a number one wide receiver in fantasy. He certainly can be. I think late third round, obviously if in the fourth would be a steal, but he's pretty much going in the third round. I like him in the third round sometimes I don't. I think Trevor Lawrence, like Mahomes in some ways, is going to be able to spread the ball around so much that it wouldn't shock me if we had a lot of inconsistency as to who was going to go off each week. Evan Ingram could have literally 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in 1 week. Kirk could have 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. Ridley could, he could definitely mix it all around, and I think ETN will catch more passes. I'm not saying they can't all eat and that he won't have such a good year that maybe it's kind of like, Addison and JJ in Minnesota. There's enough room to feed, them both to a very nice, degree. So maybe we see Kirk and Ridley and Ingram all kind of eat, but I just think the expectation's very high if you're taking them as an elite wide receiver one. A low-end wide receiver one, I very much like him. But there's risk, or enough risk to not go all in on every league, though, You got to make sure you pick your spots with Ridley, because it's not a lock.
Are you also worried too that because wasn't there before he was suspended for gambling and stuff? Didn't he try to take a mental health break? Is that something that like this year too that could worry you too? Is that he could have that chance where for whatever reason he could go on one of those breaks again?
I don't think so. You never know, but no one saw it coming. So what can you say about something like that? You don't know. But I think given his attitude, his motivation, putting, saying that he's going to catch, what did he say, 1,300 yards on his daughter's name or something like that. Was it 13 or 15? It just makes me feel like he's coming for blood. And if he stays healthy, I think he'll probably come pretty close to expectations, but I just want to make sure we keep the expectations in a very safe place where, he's not being drafted alongside of Olave, but if he's getting drafted alongside of potentially Watson and London, then that makes sense,
Mm-hmm. And Christian Kirk too. You think that he'll where do you feel comfortable drafting him? Because I remember last year there was like a little stretch where when Trevor Lawrence started heating up, that Christian Kirk was starting to heat up. I guess do you think that's better for him now that they do have a alpha number one receiver, and it should probably open up more for him? Where are you comfortable drafting him?
I don't think it opens up more for him. I think it makes, like I said, inconsistency a possibility because there's just a lot of people to feed. I don't think he does better than last year. You never know, but I mean, he certainly kept defying all the odds, and everybody was down on him. And I admittedly wasn't high enough on him, and I feel like he definitely proved a lot of people wrong, and me being one of those people, because I didn't think he would continue to play at the level he was playing. But he had 1,100 yard, 8 touchdown, 84 reception season. I think that we'd be lucky if he returned that same, line in 2023. Is it impossible for him to return that line? I don't think it's impossible. And then of course injuries and Ridley, and who knows if Ridley can get back. If Ridley can't get back to his old self, then Kirk has a much stronger chance of repeating these numbers. If, let's say, Ridley is the guy he says he is, and the guy we hope he is, I think we're probably looking at like a 70-something reception, 1,000 yard, close to 1,000 yards, 990, 950, 1,010, 1010, maybe 5 or 6 touchdowns. But could he get an 8 and 1,100 again? It's possible. I mean, I'm just not going to draft it for that. If I'm going to take Kirk, I want him at the cheaper version. But right. I don't know. I think Ingram's going to crush in 2023, and I think Ridley's going to crush, and everybody else will hopefully do well. And ETN, I hope, gets enough receptions. It's just, man, I don't know. There's a lot to go around. It's such a good situation for T-Law. If you don't like T-Law, going over all these options, Kirk, Ridley, Ingram, ETN, Tank Bigsby, I don't know how you can't be excited about Trevor Lawrence. There's so many weapons there. He's going to have a good year.
Yeah. No,
Denny.
I agree with you. I mean, and also, too, he also has Doug Peterson, who,
to the moon.
Successful as an offensive coordinator, even when he was with his time with the Eagles. So if anybody's going to figure out, how to make those guys play decent, it would be him.
Yeah, and that underdog line is just absolutely disrespectful. Same thing with the same line for London, the same line for Christian Watson, the same line pretty much for Ridley, I believe. I think the line is the exact same. It's it might be a tad higher. Let me go find Ridley. I think it's 8 something as well. It's like a weird number that they're just shooting out. 850 for London, 850 for Watson. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's Ridley's 850 as well. That's just crazy. It's a weird number that they're stopping at. Dotson, 800 even. That Dotson's gonna crush 800 yards receiving. Let me put that on screen. That one is just a home run, guys. That link is in the live chat pinned. If you want to try and do these higher lows before they go away, I mean, how is this not an absolute smash? Dotson higher. He's even got 4 TDs. He's gonna score 5 touchdowns. Go take advantage of this, guys. Underdog's asking you to come take their money. They're saying, hey, Smitty, promote us and have people take our money, is what they're telling me on a daily basis. Hey, Smitty, go promote us. Garrett Wilson's got a 1140 line. Where's this Calvin Ridley? 855. What is this 850 number? What is it? I mean, that's like a rookie wide receiver.
It's almost like a half a season, not a half a season, but like 3/4 of the season. So almost like they're expecting people to miss 3 or 4 games.
But yeah, so Dotson's 800 even. Smash the higher. Link in the description to do these. These are only on Underdog Fantasy, these lines. These lines are like, get them while you can. Get them while you can. 855.5 yards. If he stays healthy, that is probably one of the biggest locks, period. Like, we love Jahmyr Gibbs at 580 rushing yards. We love Christian Watson at 800. But, like, Ridley's the number one bona fide wide receiver in a Trevor Lawrence offense. And 855.5? I don't understand it. I don't get it. This is an absolute smash. It's an absolute... I mean, ask Denny. Denny knows. Denny, you're live. Denny, is Calvin Ridley 855 yards a smash, Denny? 855.
Oh, jump all over it. Smash it.
Zing
jump
it.
Up and down.
Zip it. That's an easy one. Denny, appreciate the super chats.
Smitty, that's a layup. No, I heard you. Hey, I was looking at the like the picture that you put up when you do a super chat.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, man, that old picture with that car, that's cool. But so I updated it, and the only reason why I sent the $5 chat was to see if it updated my picture. Because I'm holding a fantasy football trophy in my new picture. But I was just.
It's not updating. It's not updating, is it? I don't think so.
It did on the chat, but oh man, that's yeah. That's yeah.
Let me see if I can screenshot it for you and put it up for everybody. Hold on, let me go look for it.
Yeah, because this is all that matters. You guys got to see. This is a fantasy foot. This is a football dynasty trophy that I'm holding up in this new pick.
Okay. Hold on. Let me put it on screen for you. I can screenshot it on my phone and I'll put it on screen. I think Overcome just dropped another super chat, I believe. Overcome says
Russian collusion's going off. I'm holding everyone back because of
Dotson made some chase-like catches this year. Dotson's on the Moon Man list for a reason. Dotson's going to annihilate. Thank you, Overcome, and I agree with you. Dotson's going to annihilate this 800 receiving line. Absolutely crush it. Just destroy it. Just make it its daddy. This is going to be an absolute smash. Both of these are just complete annihilation calls right here. Denny, I got it right here. Here's your image. I don't know how blurry it's going to be, but I just screenshot it and I've got it right here. So Denny dropped this $5 holler. Denny,
just check the new picture.
It looks like you're licking your trophy.
Yeah, that's what I do. You know what I mean? You helped me through that.
Yeah.
Smitty helped me through that. You know, he talked me through it.
Hey, Denny is Russian. You still got the car though, right?
I still got the car, but time, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I still got the
beautiful
car.
my man. Yeah,
Oh,
that's a beautiful
thank
car.
you. Yeah, it is, and I like it. But now that trophy means more to me now, and I got a whole
the car.
But, oh, there it is. Yeah, there. Okay, I see it. I see it now. Thanks, Smitty.
Yeah, hey man, your request is my pleasure. So Denny, Jordan Love, can he zip it?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think he can.
Yeah.
I don't know about some of these other guys, but man, I think Love maybe can zip it. There's other guys come back around. You know what? Lawrence can zip it. Mac Jones, he might be able to zip it this year. He might be able to.
No, he can't zip it. Mac Jones
can't.
They're going to zip up Mac Jones and take him out of the lineup at some point. I'm very excited about Beal to the Suns, Yusuf. Good question. Absolutely thrilled. I think the Suns, if we don't win it this year, then why even try anymore? There's no way. There's no way. We're cursed. There's no way it's ever going to get done if we can't win this year. Now, granted, I know there's a lot of depth concerns, but they'll fill holes. We were made fun of, when we made that first initial trade for Durant. You're never going to have anybody else. The depth, and we had pretty good little rotation. It was. I mean, maybe our defense isn't the best, but the Suns had a good rotation. Guys who could score. Durant and crew would sit out for a few plays. I went to a Suns game, and it was fun to watch. Just a real cohesive unit. But, man, Beal is good. I like Beal a lot. That's a great move.
Yeah, but the problem is your depth.
Yeah.
That's what the problem was this year. But they
Well,
didn't go further. And
They
with
got a
Beal,
draft and a
that
free
gives
agent.
you-
They can figure it out, but
Yeah, they got a draft, but still a young 19, 20-year-old not going to make that big of a difference on a team like that.
The moves are not done yet either.
They're going to have to. I have a feeling they're going to end up moving your center out.
I don't think Aiton's going anywhere, but I think that there's a lot of maneuvering that can still be done. So I'm just going to wait and be patient.
That's the rumor that I'm hearing is Aiton's going to probably have to be traded out, and then they got to come in and get some depth.
Maybe. Yeah, buddy, Mac Jones about to surprise people, says Travis.
But you mind if I
Because
ask Denny
there's
a
that-
question?
Yeah, go ahead, Collusion. Go ahead. Denny, Collusion
Hey,
wants to talk
Denny,
to you.
What's your number one rookie wide receiver this year?
You need some names, Denny?
Is Denny still here?
Hey, Denny, you need some names? He's looking it up, probably. Denny, did you pass out?
Smitty, you got Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, Jigma, Quentin Johnson, and
Wow.
yeah.
Did you say Smitty? You've got. Did you just say? Did you just say Smitty?
No, I was asking Denny.
No, I know, but who is it that said Smitty? You've got Jordan Addison. Who said that?
Me, Blake.
Why'd you say that like I didn't know those names? You said Smitty. You got Jordan Addison. You've got.
Oh no, I'm just saying that because you were asking like.
No,
give me some names.
No, I was asking Denny if he needed some names. Because yeah, bro, you might as well not watch my show and just close the window if I didn't know who the rookie receivers were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you, bro. But it was funny. I did wonder why you said that to me like that. Like Smitty. There's Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson. Like, what are you watching me for? Hey,
Like,
no, Denny.
Texting him to keep it.
Yeah, Denny doesn't.
Anonymous, you know.
Denny wouldn't know the names, is what I was referring to. So yeah, was that Blake?
Yes, it was.
Okay, yeah. It was just funny, Blake. It's fine. I was just kidding with you. But yeah, Denny will say that guy. You know that guy? What's his name? I don't. So I was just. Denny might have hung up. Let me see if Denny's off the line. I think Denny hung up. Okafor, you're live. What are you here to complain about today, Okafor?
I feel like I missed my window to complain about Christian Watson tomorrow. You know, so I may have to.
No, the window's not closed. If you would like to make a fool of yourself, the floor is all yours, pal. Go ahead. Tell us why we're wrong on Christian Watson, Okafor.
All right, hold on. Let me just amend what I said yesterday, man. I was doing some thinking, you know. Maybe saying MVS, comparing him to MVS is too harsh. All right. Let me say more like the vision I'm seeing, like the end point is like Randy Moss, you know? Randy Moss is tall, super fast, athletic, move around. But Randy Moss is, I'd say, a more polished route runner. And his hands are kind of crazy.
Why are we talking about Randy Moss? Probably arguably one of the best players in the history of the NFL at the wide receiver position. Like, where did this come from? You were trying to talk bad about Christian Watson, and you're mentioning Randy Moss. Like, I don't understand what's going on here.
All right.
That tells us all that Christian Watson's going to be awesome.
Must be drafted on Scott's site.
Yeah, you just drafted over on that whatever the hell it was. Why don't you start over? Why don't you take Randy Moss? Why don't you take Randy Moss' name out of your mouth? Okay, especially if you're going in a negative direction. Why don't you start over? Go ahead.
I mean, it's like a watered down Randy Moss, like an unpolished Randy Moss. So saying that the potential was there.
I mean, bro, if you're calling Christian Watson entering his second year a watered down Randy Moss, you're not doing a very good job of trying to tear him down.
So, Smith, can I say something?
Yeah.
Then that's the number one pick. If you're talking about a watered down Randy Moss, I'm taking him number one.
Okafor, try it again. Let's back up again. Try it again. You're live with the Fantasy Football Show, Okafor. What can I help you with? Go ahead.
What's wrong with okay, maybe like real water.
Why don't you just tell me why you don't like him instead of comparing him to like Hall of Famers? Why don't you start there?
I mean, that's why. I mean, catching the ball is important. My running route is important. I could see him having like a Jamar Chase kind of season. It wouldn't surprise me.
What in the hell is going on here?
Hold on. Finish. All right. Like the same way that they were putting Chase on like single coverage his rookie season. You know, and them underestimating the speed of him just running by them. I can see Christian Watson doing a lot of that. Like I can see that in his range of outcomes, depending on how they use him. You know.
You're still going in the complete wrong direction you're trying to go in.
Smitty, can you put an alert out for Smitty? Can you put an alert out for a missing Okafor?
Yeah, bro. Would your grandma get a hold of your phone? Are we talking to your grandma? Hey, this is Okafor. Let me just read off some. Let me Google some names real quick. Okafor, you compared him to Randy Moss. Now you're calling him. You can see him doing a lot of the things Jamar Chase does. Why don't you back up one more time and stop putting other players' names in your mouth and just tell us why you don't like Christian Watson? Because this isn't making any sense.
Nah, he can't run routes, man. He's just fast. He's just a fast man, okay? That's what he is. Are you happy? Did I give you what you wanted?
He's just a fast man? What?
Yeah, fast man.
Okay.
Speedy Gonzalez.
That's all you view him as, a 6'4" fast guy that Aaron Rodgers turned into a baby Deebo Samuel. Okay, I got you.
When you say Aaron Rodgers turned, what do you mean? I mean, he wasn't his receiver coach.
Aaron Rodgers is his guardian angel. That's his power of attorney. That is the man who turns his wide receivers into the monsters that they become. He's a big reason why. I don't care who comes in here and tells me I'm wrong. I could give two craps. This is my show. Davante Adams would not be the player he is today without Aaron Rodgers. He wouldn't be. You could say he'd still be a top 10 wide receiver. He would have been eventually in that territory. But he would not have been the same player he is today if he didn't have Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football. I don't care what anybody tells me. Aaron Rodgers is a reason everywhere he goes, he turns somebody into an elite wide receiver. Or every year when players go there, he'll find it. He'll figure out a way. Year in and year out, he has one of the most electric wide receivers in football. And Christian Watson was matured along fast. It doesn't matter. Like Christian Watson would not be the player he is today if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers. But guess what? I don't care, because you can't separate situation from player. You can't separate the experiences the player had. No one's taking away what Adams is today. A lot of people that hear me say that don't listen to me, and they say, "What are you talking about?" Adams went on to play with Derek Carr, and he caught 14 touchdowns, Smitty, because he is the player that Aaron Rodgers helped make him become. So when you have this is what's so exciting about Garrett Wilson, is that Garrett Wilson became that already without Aaron Rodgers. Imagine what Aaron Rodgers is going to do to the talent level and speedy maturing process of Garrett Wilson. Just imagine it. If he can do what he did with Christian Watson, what in the hell is Aaron Rodgers going to do for Garrett Wilson? It's going to be unbelievable.
Are you talking about as far as like getting him numbers because he's throwing good balls and making good reads, or
what do you think I mean? What do you think I mean when I say that, Okafor? I'm sorry I'm always so hard on you, Okafor, but you come in with a negative. Like, you're a whole point to call, though, and I like it. And you know what, Okafor? We need it. Just like we need Scott to call in and talk gibberish, we need you to come in and give a critical stance so I can yell at you, and everybody's waiting for it. Like, it's become commonplace. So I appreciate you, number one, and I want you to continue to call in with your negativity because it's good. You're actually a very positive critic. You're positive. You're a positive guy. You're likable. Nobody hates you. But you do come in with a negative take each time. You're like, here's my beef. And the thing is, like, what do you think I mean by Aaron Rodgers fast tracks a player? It's not just that he's throwing the ball up and he's throwing a lot. He's teaching them. He's grooming them. He was yelling constantly at this guy. And at the end of the year, instead of Aaron Rodgers berating him on a mistake, do you remember what happened when Watson turned the wrong way and Aaron Rodgers threw it to the other shoulder and they missed out on one of the final touchdowns that Watson could have had on the year? They joked around. It was like there was nothing but respect there at the end. Aaron Rodgers, if you get Aaron Rodgers' respect, you have made it. You have gotten to a level that he tried to get you to and coach you to. He is a coach. He is a coach. He's absolutely a coach on the field.
In fact, that game, Smitty, I remember that after the game interview with Aaron Rodgers, they asked him about that, and Rodgers like, hey, I told him, if you want to catch touchdowns, you got to run the right routes.
Yeah. Okay, got to ask.
You know what happened, Okafor? You know what happened there is he actually taught this guy, which is what great quarterbacks do, taught him how to catch the ball and where to go. I mean, it was, if you think about the season last year where he started out so, dropping balls and stuff like that, and think about the end of his season where, he just grew up as a wide receiver, it was amazing.
Yeah, the transformation was crazy. You got to watch the film. I don't think you watched the film, Okafor. I think you need to go watch some Christian Watson footage and just see what the guy is capable of doing. Let me also tell you this, and I'm going to get to this. Giancarlo, thank you for the $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get moonshots. I'm coming for your super chat right now. Let me just put it this way. Okafor, I know you trust me to a degree. I know you obviously question a lot of what I say, but you trust me to a degree. You like the show. You like some of the content. You like some of the bold predictions. You like some of the directions I go. I loved this man, Christian Watson, walking into the combine. I loved him. I had him highly ranked. I did some videos on him. I talked him up all the time. And then we said, but he came from a small school, Trey Lance's school. We didn't really know how it was going to translate. He's a big boy, 6'4". We've run so fast time. We didn't know what the time was going to be. We didn't know it was 4.28. We didn't know he was going to go and kill the combine. This guy went and crushed, absolutely destroyed the combine. Ran a 4.28, destroyed the combine, measured in at 6'4", and it just vaulted his stock. And so it's not like he came out of nowhere. It's not like I didn't like him well before he landed in Green Bay. Green Bay just put him on a fast maturing path to get where he is today. And Okafor, I tell you this right now, he walks into his second year as a 3rd or 4-year veteran. That's what Aaron Rodgers does. You're a 3 to 4 year veteran in your mind and in your skill set and your toolbox based on Aaron Rodgers bringing you along, force feeding you. And guess what he does? He doesn't normally do that with rookies, Okafor. He normally doesn't do that with rookies. They had a vacancy, a glaring hole at wide receiver. No wide receivers last year. So the fact that Aaron Rodgers did that with a rookie says a lot, because usually he doesn't give rookies the time of day. He just so happened to have to force them. And he did. And he forced him, he did.
It's Smitty, wasn't Rodgers?
Hold on,
wasn't Rodgers late to camp last year?
Yeah, let's let Okafor. Well, I don't know about late, but let's let Okafor go real quick.
He's like the Anthony Richardson of wide receivers. Like, the physical tools are out of this world.
Okay, what do you, bro? You keep comparing him to amazing people. That's all you're doing.
But as I'm saying, the problem is just the rawness. That's the only thing. We need to see how he develops.
So? So
I
what?
have
You,
a
so what?
feeling there,
Are you
but
Captain
I wouldn't
Obvious?
wanna jump in.
Are you Captain Okafor? Captain Obvious Okafor? Do you need somebody to literally drop like amazingness coming out of their rookie year for you to believe the upside is there? Okafor, you got to look into it and say to yourself, is the upside here? Have I seen enough? Have I been given a glimpse? Look at Deshaun. You probably don't like Jahan Dotson, do you?
Oh no, I do. I love him.
So why do you believe in him off of Christian Watson and Jahan Dotson had the same statistical season, Okafor? They both had
one did it one way, the other did it another way. Like Jahan Dotson is an amazing route runner, has amazing hands. On the smaller side, but he can still get jump balls over people. Wow. Yeah.
If you really want to, I love Christian Watson, but if you really want an argument that you should be making is that the problem with Watson is he has tight hands that he drops the ball a lot. He hasn't learned to run smooth routes yet. He's very good up and down the field. But as far as route running over, no, you haven't. You've been comparing them to everybody. You haven't been saying.
Okafor, you've been comparing them to Randy Moss, Jamar Chase, and Anthony Richardson.
But if you want to say why you don't like them, then you need an argument, like I just said, because that's more of a valid argument.
I said he lacks ball skills, and he's not a great route runner yet. That's what I said.
Look. Let me just say.
You compared him to.
When I say watered down, it's watered down into the skill, like the wide receiver skill.
Okafor, you can't say that about a guy who pulled in 800 yards, or what did he pull? What was his stat line? He pulled in the same stats as Jahan Dotson. Like, they both were an amazing touchdown producing player. Okay, very, very much ahead of their projected like season and maturity level. Like, they came out strong. Let me also point out this real quick, because I want to get your reaction to this. Okay, and I know Ron was just trying to come up with a negative. Ron doesn't really even believe that, but here's where I think. I want to hear your explanation for this, because these are not numbers that you can accidentally fall into. Christian Watson had one of the most unbelievable stretches a rookie wide receiver has ever had in fantasy football or in the NFL. Okay, so I want to get your take on this. Christian Watson in Week 10 against Dallas had 107 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't know if you know these numbers. I don't know if you've even looked at Christian Watson. 107 yards, Okafor, and 3 touchdowns. You don't trip and fall into that. In Week 11, the very next week, 48 yards and 2 touchdowns, Okafor. The very next week against the Eagles, 110 yards and a touchdown, Okafor. And the very next week, 4 weeks in a row, against the Chicago Bears in Week 13, 48 yards receiving and a touchdown, and a 40-yard touchdown run. So, do you believe that these are the numbers? 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns in 4 games. 8 touchdowns in 4 games. One was a 40-yard touchdown run. These are numbers that you somehow, what? How do you get them? How do you get those, Okafor? That's the most unbelievable string of games I've seen in I can't tell you how long.
Touchdowns, I don't give a rip about. Those are
8 and 4 weeks. You don't.
Do you team success? The yardage is what I care about. The more yards you rack up, let's pretend that was a arguable stance, which it's not. Because you score 8 touchdowns in 4 games, Okafor. It says something. But let's just pretend your argument. Let's pretend your argument's sound. What about the yardage, Okafor? What about 107 yards, 48 yards, 110, 48 with the 40-yard touchdown? That is almost 100 yards total right there for this guy. Total yards against Chicago. Are you going to tell me rushing yards don't matter to you now? Like, he literally had almost 300-yard games of the 4. And you're telling me yardage is important to you. Yeah, I was gonna say, let's see the manner in which he got them.
Oh my God!
I mean, like I said,
go watch it.
Athleticism, like you could toss, you could throw a screen to him or a jet sweep, and he has the ridiculous speed and size to put the ball in there. He's a threat to score.
So
from
what's
any
the
point on
problem? Because
So
he's
you're
too.
going to throw 48 points out the window. You're just going to up your team.
This is
Let's say your team goes point. You're going to just throw. You're okay with throwing 48 points out the window because you care for yardage more than touchdowns. You're going to take 48 points. You give me 48 points in a league. You give me 48 points going against you in a league every day. You won't even come close to
Okafor.
Because that's what you're saying. You'll give up 48 points.
Okafor, I tell you he has 8 touchdowns in a 4-game stretch. You say touchdowns don't matter. Yardage does. I tell you he had essentially 3 100-yard games, total yards out of the 4 games, 2 of which were 100-yard receiving games. Then he had that 40-something yards on the ground and a 48 yards and a touchdown, but 2 touchdowns in week 13. Then you tell me it matters how he scores the touchdown or how he scores the yardage. You're coming up with a different story every time to try and get out of this man just dropped one of the most impressive wide receiver stretches of almost in 1 month here, dipped into December, that I've seen, and I can't count how many. I can't remember a time I've seen this. I would venture to say this is one of the most electric 4-game stretches in the history of the NFL at the wide receiver position.
This is Russell. Can I just ask you something? Because I'm feeling that you don't have a problem with him. I think it's a Love problem. I think you have a problem with Love. Is that the issue?
That's his next excuse.
I don't have.
That's what
Love is he is a variable in this, but I more trust the talent, trust the receiver being able to get open. Which if they just scream him,
what is he proving right here, Okafor? What are you doing? What are you doing with your life, Okafor?
If they just scheme Watson open, then kind of like how you brought up Debo, then I guess I don't really have a problem. If they just keep doing that.
Okafor, he had it. Okafor, look at his.
We need Worry and Scott and Okafor in the same league together.
I think Scared Scott would come in and tell you you're crazy. Okafor, have you ever been told you'll just keep fighting an uphill battle just because you already started the fight? Like, do you ever give in? Do you just dig your heels in further and further? You're looking at data on the screen here that I love Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson doesn't sniff what just I'm putting on the screen right here, and I love Jahan Dotson. I love him. But what you're looking right in front of your face right here is absolute marvel. This guy had a stretch of games in a row, 4 in a row. You can't trip and fall into that. 1 game, sure. Maybe even 2 games. Some guys have started that. The week one wonder that usually happens once in a while. A week 1 wonder that happens, and it's like a guy comes out and has like a 2 touchdown week 1. Maybe even has a decent week 2, and then you never hear from him again. He falls off the face of the earth. Like that happens. 4 games does not. And the fact that you're arguing touchdowns don't matter is the weirdest argument I've ever heard in my life. You're playing fantasy football. We're talking fantasy football. That's what this show is. So if you're going to come in here and say, well, no, I'm actually just now talking NFL football. Like, that's not what we're talking about on this channel ever. So we're talking about both. We talk about both. Not just football. We talk about both. This guy scored, look, Okafor, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns in a 4-game span. You say touchdowns don't matter. I don't know why you say that, but let's pretend that's reality. He had 107 yards, 48 yards, 110 yards, 48 yards with the 46-yard touchdown run, and you're saying now the yardage doesn't matter. Now it matters how he did it. But guess what, Okafor? Hold on, and I'll let you answer. But guess what? I don't even think you know how he scored these. I don't think you know. I don't think you've seen it because you said if they scheme him open, then I guess I'm okay with it. I just told you he did this, or I just told you he did this. 8 touchdowns. You said I don't care. I just told you. You said yardage matters. I just told you he did this. Essentially 3 100 total yard games in a 4-game span, and you said, well, it matters how he did it. You don't even know how he did it. You don't even know. You didn't watch. You didn't watch him.
I've watched Christian Watson highlights. I see how he gets the job done. But the problem is I don't know how repeated. Like the touchdown thing is that touchdowns are not necessarily predictable. Unless you're Tom Brady and Mike Evans and at the 1 yard line.
So let's pretend you're right, but you're wrong. Let's pretend you're right, but you're wrong. And
you're wrong.
And let's say, okay, well, what about his yardage? Under your theory or your concern, can you please explain to me why he doesn't pass your eye test when he just had essentially 3 100 total yard games in that same 4-game span where you say his 8 touchdowns don't tickle your fancy? Mm-hmm.
Is there any receiver in the NFL? Is there any
receiver what?
Is there any...
Hold on. Hold on. I want to hear what he says.
Goodbye.
Is there any receiver that what, Okafor?
Is there any player in the NFL that's, I guess would be Debo, that's consistently schemed open and does not necessarily have?
Well, I don't understand why he's schemed open. Why do you give him? Why you disrespect him to the point where you say when he gets touchdowns or yardage, it's different? What do you mean he's schemed open? Why can't he get open? What about a 6'4", 4.2840? Do you not understand as a dominant monster in getting open in the route running department? Like what? I get it. He's got to get crispier routes. That comes with the territory. But I don't understand why you keep saying he's getting schemed open. Like he's just getting handed these stats right here that are one of the most remarkable 4-game stretches we've ever seen in the NFL. He's being schemed into this. He's no part in this. I don't understand.
Isn't it the job of the offense to scheme wide receivers open? That's what all wide receivers do. So when you say, tell me a person that is schemed open, everybody is schemed open. You could talk about every wide receiver in the NFL on every team. They're schemed open.
This is very
What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Your next animation, you really need to get that toilet bowl animation going. So when we got really rotten teams or rotten takes, we can just flush them down the toilet.
You're circling the bowl right now. You're circling the bowl. All right? And people are calling you Denny Jr., but you're circling the bowl.
And Denny's telling you.
And then they check flush it or not.
I'm saying this man is a speed guy. Please name some receivers that cannot run routes. Okay, maybe cannot run routes is a little harsh.
I used to.
I
can't run. I'm too old. I run routes. I hook up with girls.
Okafor, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. What's making you say? What's making you say that he's all speed? And the reason he got this amount of yardage and touchdown production, a 46-yard rushing touchdown, 5 touchdowns in week 10 and 11 alone, 107 yards, 110 yards, almost another 100 total yards. What is it that's making you think this is scheme and that he's skating by and he's lucky? This is like Lucky Lewis. This is Lucky Lewis out there that says that everything you do is luck. This is like somebody comes in and says, Smitty, I could do what you do on the live stream, because I just don't want to, or I haven't got who are you to say that Watson, you're diminishing his ability and his talent by saying that he's being schemed and gifted, and that if he does score, it's his speed. It's his speed that did it. It's not talent. I could do it. If I was fast, I could score too.
If a defense focused on him and wanted to take him away, I'd like to have an easier time doing that.
Like Dallas didn't try to do that in week 10. One of the best defenses in the NFL when he had 3 touchdowns and 107 yards. Okafor. Okafor, 3 touchdowns.
Against Philly, who has the top defense in the league, and he still got 110 yards and 1 touchdown.
Get it.
Okafor, you lost this. You are unable to admit it. The whole chat is saying no.
No.
Wait. Hold on. No.
No, Smitty, no.
Okafor, you got your ass handed to you. You got your ass handed to you. The entire chat is putting toilet bowl emojis everywhere. Everyone's saying finish him. And please don't take this the wrong way. I want you to call back. I actually love what you bring to the show, but I have to click the button because the chat's calling for it.
Hold on,
and
Smitty.
Keep him on.
Hold on, Smitty.
Keep him on.
Hold on,
Smitty,
Smitty.
keep him on. Keep him on. Smitty, keep him on.
Smitty, I gotta find out.
You gotta hold. Keep him on, Smitty. Keep him on.
How he feels about Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill is a speedster. So does he think Tyreek Hill sucks as a wide receiver?
Tyreek Hill stop and start is generation, like nothing I've ever seen before. That's how this man gets open. It's not just his speed.
Watson.
From his speed.
I got
What
it.
I'm saying his ability to stop, start, and change direction.
Okafor.
Is ridiculous.
Okafor. Tomorrow's a new day.
Finish him. Call
Keep the
terminate.
legs, Smitty.
I had to.
Sweep the
I'm sorry.
leg.
I'm sorry, but tomorrow's a new day. Okafor, come in with a new battle. You got your ass handed to you, and you folded like a chair on that one. I'm sorry, but somehow he thinks he's...
By the way, Denny, I love
to
sweep the leg. I love to sweep the leg.
Smitty, put him in the body bag, Smitty.
There's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. Hey guys, I gotta run.
Why does he sound like me? Is this my twin?
Hold on. I got Marsman Veda on the phone. Marsman Veda.
Actually, you guys, I have to listen like real close because you guys sound a lot alike.
Hey, hang tight real quick. I got it. Hold on, Denny, hold on. I got to get off the phone here. So let me go to Marsman Veda real quick. He's Marsman. He's been waiting through that whole painful experience, and I should have jumped to him anyway. So he's got a Marsman card. Veda, what can I do for you?
Your dark galactic father here. First time
Darth
caller,
Vader.
long time listener.
What's up, Veda?
I just want to say I love the show, and I'm interested in why you haven't brought up any AR-15. He seems like the kind of guy you'd go crazy for most years. And where does he sit around Jordan Love in draft?
I'd like to
step
in if I could.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
He might be on this list very soon. So I talk about him a ton, Veda. I definitely don't not talk about him. Maybe you haven't heard some of it, but he might be on a certain list very, very soon. Very, very much love AR-15, and he could be a top 10 quarterback his rookie year. Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of like what the OC's coming over from Philly, and I could see Pittman having a resurgence. I don't see AR-15 affecting Taylor, so that's in best ball. The Jordan Love, the Green Bay combo, and the Indy combo, something I've been picking up a lot of.
Yeah,
so.
Bro.
I know you brought him up, but like the way you love Trey Lance and his metrics, I figured AR-15 would just be even
way better.
even though Trey Lance had a better maybe team he was going into, obviously.
Yeah, Trey Lance failed, and I'm not getting on that train again. It's unfortunately to me, that's definitely the end of the road for him at this point. Like maybe something happens for Trey, but AR-15 is much better prospect.
Smitty, can I jump in?
Sure.
All right. So you're not supposed to call me AR-15 anymore because of the rifle. You know what I mean? So they don't call them that anymore. which I think is funny. He never even deserved the name to begin with because he doesn't have that snap and pop. You got to have that. You got to have that zip like Smitty has. I'm telling you can't call him.
I think he's got a little zip, buddy.
All right, man.
That's his
I
nickname.
watch him. He looks real good, when no one's coming at him. But, no, he looks real good. I loved his backflip. Smitty loved his backflip. Smitty dropped 2 knees when he saw him do a backflip. No.
Hey, I gotta go, guys. Denny, final thoughts. You got 8 seconds, and I'm hitting the button. Doesn't matter if you finish or not. Go 8 seconds.
All right, 8 seconds. 8. If you had a few when you call in, that dude, the last dude that sounded like me, at least at least have some love. Don't come in with hate if you had a few. You can get shut off like when that guy Jazzy Jeff gets thrown out by Phil. You know what I mean? Just don't come in. Don't.
All right, Denny, appreciate you. Later, pal. Thanks for the super chat.
Love you, Smitty.
Later. Blake, final thoughts. 10 seconds. I gotta be tough with this time. I gotta go.
Nothing. Just love the show, Smitty.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later. Blake from Mini. Let's go over to Scuba Steve. 10 seconds. Go.
Hey, man. I'll talk to you later on, man. I'll bring in some more questions if you're drafting tonight. You have a good night.
Yeah, we'll be drafting tonight. I'm going to drop a Garrett Wilson link right at the end here, and I'll drop that in the chat. Let me see if I can find the link real quickly. And let's see here. Let me get it. I'm going to drop the link. If I can just click it. Hold on. Here it is. Garrett Wilson draft dropping right this very second in the YouTube live stream. Get it. Okay, Scuba, see you later, pal. Veda, final thoughts. Appreciate you calling, by the way. Call in more often. You there, Veda? Veda? All right, Veda, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're muted. We appreciate you. Call in more often. Are you there?
Thank you. Take care, buddy.
All right, hey, Veda, you got any final thoughts?
No, I just can't wait to play more drafts with you, Garrett Wilson. Everything you put up, let's get this. Take care.
All right, later, Veda. Collusion, final thoughts.
Again, Smitty, #1 show on earth.
Thank you.
We need to continue to grow this freaking what we got going on here and you got going on, and here to support you, man.
All right, appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Ron Navy. Thank you, Denny, for everything.
You're the man.
You guys.
Oh, sorry, Collusion. Ron Navy, final thoughts.
Yeah, here's a wild take. I think Allen Robinson is going to be relevant this year. I think Dotson's a diva. I'm not Dotson, but Deontay Johnson is a diva, and it's not going to surprise me if it ends up being Allen Robinson and Pickens, the top 2 receivers on the Steelers.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Later, Ron Navy. Everybody drop prayer emojis for Ron Navy. Appreciate you, man. Later. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Appreciate every single one of you. On that note, I'm leaving you with the 2 Garrett Wilson animations that I've worked so hard on. Here we go. Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets country. Let's ride. Hold on 1 second. There was a super chat that I didn't get to yet. Giancarlo, you still here? Giancarlo. Okay, got to ask. Dynasty Superflex, I got offered Tyreek Hill, Eckler, Stafford for Love, Watson, JT. Thoughts? Are you still here, Giancarlo? I hope you are. Dynasty Superflex got offered Tyreek Hill, Eckler, Stafford for Love, Watson, JT. I'd probably go Love, Watson, JT in a Dynasty because Eckler's got a short amount of time left. Tyreek Hill, short amount of time left in the grand scheme of things. I don't like Stafford. Go ahead and go get Watson, JT, and Jordan Love. I take that. Giancarlo, are you still here? 2 hours and about 37 minutes in, I came back and answered that. I'm going to try and remember to tell you that in a DM if you're not here. Appreciate you. Giancarlo, calling he's here. He's here. Giancarlo to the moon. Giancarlo's my guy. And I appreciate that super chat you dropped. And real quickly, let me see if there's any other super chats that were lingering. Dallas Sports Fan, are you still here? I'm so sorry about not seeing this one. Dallas Sports Fan gets a standing. Dallas Sports Fan, I appreciate you, my guy. He says pick 14 in 14-man league standard. First 5 picks based on multiple mocks. Pollard, Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Watson, London, good picks. Should I consider Pacheco over Aaron? I am okay. QB too early. I love that. I love that team. That team's phenomenal. It's gonna be hard to even get that team, to be honest. And maybe you get Walker. Like if you could pull off a Walker and then get Charbonnet on top of Pollard as your running back stable, even if let's say you go Burrow in 4 or Fields in 5 in order to pull off that Walker combination, that would be my one recommend, is to try and get that piece. But I still love it. That's fantastic. Are you still here, Dallas? I hope you're still here, Dallas. Giancarlo, appreciate you. Denny with the double super chats. Overcome. Dotson made some chase-like catches last year. Watch Ridley's latest YouTube video. Dude looks and sounds spiritually revived. Thank you, Overcome, for dropping all that. I think I've got all the super chats out of the way. If I missed any, please let me know in the comments that I missed it, and I'll take care of you in the comments. And guys, I'm responding going forward to about 90% of all the comments in the YouTube channel on the recent videos. Not like an old video, but anything the last like 1 or 2 or 3 videos, I'm trying to respond to every comment. My goal is to get every one of them. So, Dallas Sports, appreciate you to the moon, pal, for that super chat.
To the moon.
Thank you, Dallas. Yeah, so comment in my channel. As soon as this video is over, it's going to start off with 0 comments. Not the live chat, the comments. I try and reply to every single one. It helps the engagement. It helps me help you, and you get an answer. So ask away in the comments. Now I leave you with the 2 Garrett Wilson videos. Come on, man. Pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey man, it's Devontae Adams again. Call me back, bro.
In your eyes, the light that hit your eyes, incomplete, your lies.
Your eyes. Garrett Wilson and the boys. Your eyes. Rodgers has new toys. Your eyes. The lights, the heat. Your eyes. A Jets fan complete. Your eyes. You don't want to test Sauce Gardner's heat. Your eyes. I want to watch Brees Hall's quick feet.
Jets country, let's ride.
Later, everybody. See you tonight. We draft tonight. Link is in the description pinned. Link is in the live chat pinned. Link is in the description. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. I'll drop it one more time, but it is pinned. If you want to draft tonight, click this link now. Get signed up. Underdog will match up to $100 on your first deposit. You can use code Smitty or the link. The link inserts code Smitty for you. Up to $100 bonus match, dollar for dollar. And if you want to draft tonight, you got to click the link. Get out of here.